Gentlemen, Adam Green here with No More News. Thank you for joining me. Huge show today, Monday, April 13th, 2026. Trump is Jesus maxing again. Posted an AI image of him as Jesus and then deleted it. So everybody is calling him the Antichrist even more. Because of that, we got back on the show the great Donnie Darkend. One of my favorite Christians online, Donnie Darkend, is here, and Amalek. Need More Amalek is here to discuss that and so much more going on. What's up, fellas?
Yo, hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing? It's been a while.
Good to hear you. Didn't I always say? Oh, go ahead, Amalek.
I was just gonna say I'm ready for. I mean, it appears Jesus is coming back since Trump is the Antichrist. It appears maybe Jesus is. This is the best evidence for Jesus so far is Trump being the Antichrist.
Messiah is coming. Messiah is coming.
So for people that don't know, Donnie, you started your account like, I don't remember, 2020, 2021, and the whole theme was like Trump as the Antichrist, and everybody was calling you kooky and crazy, but not me. I was all over that and had you on, and we did several shows talking about that, and so much vindication. I remember you saying Trump more and more is going to like mimic the Jesus, and then now we see... Again, your inbox must be full of people. What's going on?
Oh yeah, it's crazy. I got like a lot of people. What's his name? Hit me up. Daryl Cooper or whatever. He's like, bro. I'm like, yeah, well, total Donnie vindication over here. Pretty fascinating stuff.
Yeah, and this is all talking like before Trump even announced he was running, when it looked like it was going to prison. For a time when we were saying these things.
This was like Trump's like bleakest moments when like Biden had just got in, and then, you know, Trump, nobody even knew that Trump was going to run again. Like that was all, you know, people were like, how do you even know he's going to run? And
The second coming, the art of the comeback, Kim Clement prophecies, right? There was lots of reasons we thought this.
There's so much. I actually was just going over some of my old threads, and it's like so crazy. Like they're like 200 posts in like a thread. Mm-hmm. It's crazy, but there was a lot going on that a lot of people kind of weren't really looking at, and I was like, oh no, he'll be back.
Remember when he posted this one when he was in having his court case? Can you believe that?
Oh yeah,
posted. This was the original, but. Sitting on the stand, being persecuted like Jesus, and then everybody's compared to him, Jesus, so much, laying down his life, sacrificing himself, saving the world, saved by God to save the world.
Yeah, and then his grandmother's maiden name is Christ, Elizabeth Christ.
That's bizarre.
Yeah,
that's like not even a prophecy though. That's just like, you know, it's not like the Antichrist will be called Christ. You know, that's not really.
Yeah, just like a lot of really weird things. A lot of weird things. Died on 6/6, 1966.
Chloe 156 sent $5. Gotta drop my widow's mites for the really big show today.
Really big show today. Absolutely. Amalek, some of your thoughts on Trump as with this post? Here's the original.
I thought the whole thing was crazy originally, and then once I started like seeing all these like prophecy delusional people in charge and so close to Trump had been on this, especially on the second on the second term, the second time coming through, it's like so obvious that this is what's kind of like dictating the pace and the script of what's going on. Is all of these I mean, you know, in my view, I think that they're like religious fanatics, and at the same time they're pointing at Iran saying you guys are religious fanatics, and then Israel is sitting there saying you guys are religious fanatics, and Israel's the same way. So it's just a bunch of like religious fanatics trying to bring about this end time stuff, and I think that like this is the script that Trump is supposed to be the Antichrist and all this other stuff. We'll go through some of the clips that we have, but you know, that's pretty much, you know, that is what they're doing. Like whoever is writing the script or whoever is following the script is definitely like picking up what we've been talking about for a long time.
And the best part is I'm one of them. I am the religious fanatic bringing about the end times. That's the greatest part of it all.
Are you still fully invested in Trump as Trump in the literal sacrifice? Are you Antichrist? Are you confident in saying that now?
So it's an interesting thing. It really all depends on a couple key things that need to happen. But it's pretty interesting though, seeing the people, the kinds of people rather that are saying that he's the Antichrist,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's like a lot of the people who
That were promoting him.
Yeah.
That were promoting him when we were warning and sounding the alarm about him.
Alex
Yep.
Jones.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Alex Jones now, and all those
their
people.
whole crew is doing like Antichrist posting 24/7. They're stealing your bit right now, but Donnie.
Yeah. What do you think about that? Like they're all Tucker, Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens. They're all pearl clutching. Marjorie Taylor Greene. They're pearl clutching so hard. Like how could Trump do this? He's been doing this all along. Like where have they been? And he's really crossed the line. I'm offended. I'm not even Christian, and I'm offended. Unacceptable for anybody to mock Christ and depict themselves as Jesus.
Right.
He's really crossed the line.
Yeah. Well, I think Nick's been like low key privy to because he, he's been following me for a little bit, and I don't think he's really like said much like back then, but he's been keeping an eye. He's been keeping an eye on the situation. He's been monitoring the situation, I think, behind the scenes. But yeah.
And how funny is this? Everybody was like, "You should delete it. This is so blasphemous." And now he's deleted the post and then says, "Jesus, why would you?" Yeah, you didn't hear that. And his excuse, you haven't heard his excuse either?
No.
Oh, dude,
so good.
This alibi is so funny. Wait till you see
this. If you have kids, this is everybody who's ever been like around like young kids under the age of like 6 or 7. This is how when they get caught doing something wrong. This is how they lie too. This is like the worst lie Trump's ever done ever.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Here's his response after deleting the blasphemous post.
President, did you post that picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ?
Well, it wasn't depicted. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor, and it had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support, and only the fake.
I thought the red robe dripping in blood was just the Red Cross. Dude, such a cop out.
Could come up with that one. So I had.
What kind of doctor is Trump going to that's glowing
said,
out of the hands and has angels behind him?
Yeah, what doctors is he going to?
Dude, nobody's gonna believe this. And the fact that he thinks he's gonna tell everybody this, he must think you're stupid.
This is the dumbest.
What a
ever.
wild one.
How do they come up with that? It's supposed to be me as a doctor making people better, and I do make people better.
I'm healing people as a doctor, not as Jesus.
Doctor. Yeah, see, Trump. When I think of Trump, it's one of the top 3 words I think of is doctor.
Doctor.
Yeah. Dr. Trump.
Killer.
A lot
Prince of
better.
Lies.
As an example, the 11,000. I understand your husband's going through treatment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's
He
going
has
through
cancer.
some very serious cancer treatment, so
Yes, sir.
this goes a long way.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
it sure
why don't you bring
does.
him over? I can put my hands on him and see if I heal him.
Dude, that is insane.
Bring that guy over. You need some healing? How about a miracle? Come
Doesn't
here.
that guy kind of look like Jeffrey Epstein too?
Dude, I just remembered something. The rabbi from the Chabad in Poway, when he spoke to Trump, he said, "You healed me." And I was like, he's a healer. He's like Moshiach. I'm going to go dig that up right now. The healer. Yeah.
Adam, do you see that though? Like even like people are AI editing the Epstein, but it kind of even looks like he would like, I don't know. The whole thing is so weird. Like
Joel Webben just popped up. How exactly does the Bible describe the Antichrist? Does Donald Trump meet that description? Maybe we'll watch some of that too, see what he says.
He posted yesterday that he thinks Donald Trump is demonically possessed.
Yeah, that's what everybody's saying, right? He's possessed. Bruh. Dude, how could he really try to pretend like he thought he was a Red Cross doctor healing people, dude? Zero chance. So he's lying. To make it even worse, he's lying. He could have just said, "Sorry, I just thought it was a funny meme. You know how I am. Boomer post, sorry." But now he's like, "No, Jesus, why would anybody think that?"
Yeah, it's crazy because even like the blatant lies, like even that like fits the description, right? Is that
He did. He answered it in the most antichrist possible way you could.
Yeah,
you could have, like, if you wrote that into the script, people would be like, "Oh no, that's too on the nose." Like no one would actually react like that.
right.
It's so ridiculous.
They've been doing this with him his whole political career, though. They did him like the Pope and posted it from the White House and Trump's Truth Social. the Pope. Oh shoot! And here's as the Messiah, Superman, the savior of the world, the symbol of hope, truth, justice, the American way, as Superman, which is very Jewish and Messianic. Here's Paula White.
There's the one that's like the Return of the King,
the MAGA King from Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
And they've been doing this all along. He was persecuted. He sacrificed his life. He's saving us all. Like Paula White here on Easter last week.
But the truth of it is you are here because of God and because of you. And I just wanted to share this thought and then pray over President Trump. Jesus taught us so many lessons through his death, burial, and resurrection. He showed us great leadership, great transformation requires great sacrifice. And Mr. President, no one has paid the price like you have paid the price. It almost cost you your life. You were betrayed and arrested and falsely accused. It's a familiar pattern that our Lord and Savior showed us. But it didn't end there for him, and it didn't end there for you. God always had a plan. On the third day, he rose, he defeated evil, he conquered death, hell, and the grave. And because he rose, we all know that we can rise.
Okay, we got the point. Compared it to Jesus. Look at this one I found too. By his wounds we are healed. Isaiah 53:5. I posted in 2025. What is he saying here?
All over me, I've taken a lot of wounds. And I have the wounds all over my body. If I took this shirt off, you'd see a beautiful, beautiful person. But you'd see wounds all over me. I've taken a lot of wounds, I can tell you. More than I suspect any president ever.
By his wounds we are healed. And then also it's cast lots for his garments. He freed the slaves from bondage as well. Freed the hostages. Interesting. Here and go ahead.
I am the chosen one. Remember that one? I am the chosen one. And that's the same day he said he retweeted Wayne Allen Root, who said that, who compared him to the second coming of God and the King of Israel. Remember that one?
Also, I was looking for the clip. He's the most popular person on earth besides Jesus. Not even close. Jesus. Remember that one?
Yeah.
He says he's not going to heaven.
That out. People were like, "Oh, but see, he put Jesus above himself, right there." See, like people were trying to like say like I was kind of reaching on that one.
Yeah,
and I was like,
dude, I gotta go check out that guy's YouTube. It hasn't been showing up in my feed, but the Antichrist 45 channel. I gotta go see some of his new ones. Have you watched him at all recently?
No, I thought about him actually. I haven't looked. I haven't seen what he's doing, but.
Here was another good one. Trump carrying the cross. He says he's not going to go to heaven. Not with blasphemous posts like that, Trump.
You had talked a couple of weeks ago, you were doing an interview, and you talked about how you hope to end the war in Ukraine because it might help you get into heaven. How does this help? Does this help?
I mean, I'm being a little cute. I don't think there's anything going to get me in heaven, okay? I really don't. I think I'm not maybe heaven bound. I may be.
Isn't it crazy? They ask him, have you ever asked for forgiveness for something? And he said no. Yes. And what's your favorite verse? Doesn't have one. Are you going to heaven? No.
He's so
very put his hand on the Bible.
Didn't put his hand on the Bible.
A lot of funny stuff going on.
I just searched on YouTube Trump Antichrist, and I put the filter for just the last week, and there's like 4,000 videos on YouTube, guys.
There never used to be anything. I used to look every day. I used to look every day for videos.
So many videos from so many channels talking about this. It's crazy. And I'm talking I could keep scrolling forever. I just have a thing that counted them all for me. But like, dude, this is this is the thing. This is what everyone's doing.
Wow.
Some of these videos have 500K plus views.
That's
yeah. That'd be interesting to go through on TikTok or YouTube and look at all the Trump Antichrist videos. I bet you it's never ending. It'd be interesting to see.
My buddy
of it.
Joel Richardson, he had just made a video literally last week talking about how Trump isn't the Antichrist, and then that happened, and then he literally said, "I literally just made a video about him not being the Antichrist. He's not making this easy for me."
Yeah, he thinks it's going to be somebody from Turkey, right?
Yeah, he thinks it's going to be like an Islamic Antichrist.
Islamic,
type deal.
right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I loved Amalek's term here. He says Trump is Esau maxing or Edom maxing with the Arch of Titus, who's almost like an Antichrist figure that destroyed the temple.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. The partial preterists actually say that Nero Caesar was like the Antichrist and that all that. But I would consider him like a type of Antichrist.
Titus,
they liked. You're right. Go ahead, Amalek. I was going to say Titus is
the instrument of God's wrath, right? So it's actually it's more specific where that God judges the Jews via Titus. Essentially, is what they teach. Yeah,
and that's exactly
Jesus predicted it, and Titus destroyed it, like Jesus' prediction.
Wait till you see the clip later, Donnie, that I got of JTV. It's one of these Jewish channels that that talks about their Judaism and stuff like that, and he calls this out directly. Wait till you see it. We'll play that.
It's more association with America as like the emperor of Rome, and America as the new Rome, putting up a architecture.
It's like a Gentile empire. Yeah, that's ultimately what the arc of like the story of the Bible is. It's really a story of like the evil Gentile empire and like the nation of Israel, winning over them.
Yeah, Babylon, Egypt, Persia and Purim, the Greeks in the Maccabees, and then the Romans in the New Testament, basically, and the Talmud.
Yeah, and America is just an extension of that same thing.
Yeah, thank you, Rabbi Darkend. But no, I mean there is some. I'm just kidding. There is some truth to that, though. Yeah.
I kind of like that, Rabbi Darkend. That's pretty
good. Jones has a 3-minute thing finally noticing Trump as the how they're always associating him with Jesus, and he's playing some archetypal messianic antichrist role. Remember when they had you on Tim Pool to talk about that clip I found of Jones saying about Trump as this figure? And then it's funny because the other day he was like, "Oh, they're all like a end times death cult, and they all think Jesus, that Trump is Jesus and their savior and stuff." Jones was guilty of that all along.
Yeah,
when Trump got elected, he called him the new King David.
Yeah, literally.
We got Marjorie Taylor Greene says it's more than blasphemy; it's an antichrist spirit.
She's another one too who was on that same wave though.
Yeah, she was doing the same thing, promoting him and all that other stuff. The other thing too about Marjorie Taylor Greene is she's part of this whole new group in the right wing that people that are listening should be very wary of. These people that are saying don't pay taxes, do a tax protest. That is the
tax revolt.
If you think that that's a good strategy for political activism, I don't know what to tell you. You're just a retard and you're gonna go to jail. So don't do that if you're listening to those people. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's literally advocating for people to not pay their taxes. I think that's going to end. I honestly think that that's going to become a big thing. That's going to become like this stupid Tea Party movement in order to protest for the right wing. And anyone fucking supporting that's an idiot.
But remember this when in 2022 Donnie and I were doing a show and we predicted Trump would survive a deadly head wound as the Antichrist is supposed to 2 years before the assassination attempt.
That's what the reports are saying too, is that after that assassination attempt too, is that he has basically become insulated, and he thinks he is protected or chosen by God. That's what the internal reporting has been on the Trump admin.
Yeah, and they're all telling him he's an instrument of God's will. That he's he's being set up by God to basically be the savior of the world. That's the same thing that Lev Parnas told him in that one meeting they had, that he's and then that's when they told him that he has the same numbers as the Messiah, 424, Messiah ben David equals 424 in Hebrew gematria, Donald Trump in Hebrew gematria, 424. And that's what he was explaining to Trump. They're all telling him this, so. Yeah,
you don't think anybody explained the Menorah Award, the Prince of Peace Menorah that the Chabad Lubavitch group gave him, and explained that that's the Messiah verse?
Right.
Of course they did.
Of course they did. Yeah.
Yeah, the Torah crown, like the Messiah, the Moshiach wears the crown. The flag of Moshiach is the same crown that they gave Trump also.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody that's been pumped more messianic egoism into somebody before. He's like the biggest narcissist. He really does think he is the savior of the world and the most popular person in the world.
There's never been someone fueled by ego more than Trump, I don't think you could ever point to, right? Like, I just can't imagine. Like, even the most, decadent emperor or, most powerful ruler in European, Napoleon, even if you could say like Hitler or any of these other figures from European history, you can't even point to any of them as being as ego-driven as Trump is at this point,
More than
right?
Trump, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Carrie Bowler says Christ will not be mocked. It seems like theatrical outrage to me with a lot of these people. Like, you really care that much, right?
I agree
Which makes it all the more suspicious. All these same people are like stomping their feet so hard that it's because Donnie believes the prophecies are real. We don't. Me and Amalek don't, but we think they're following it like loosely as a script and fulfilling archetypes to get people to believe he's these messianic figures. So either way, everybody's saying it, everybody's believing it. It's real.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. It's interesting seeing too.
$5 on
Hold on. Super chat playing.
After a defeat against Sassanid Persia, he was dead 2 years later at the hands of his own soldiers.
Trump probably only has a few years left. But go ahead, Donnie.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's interesting too, like seeing all the anti-Israel people that are like really hopping on the Trump Antichrist train.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I guarantee you, like if Trump changes his stance on Israel, they would definitely like turn the other way. It would definitely be more supportive of him. You think
all this pressure on him is going to make him flip eventually and do some betrayal, or there'll be a narrative that he betrayed Netanyahu in Israel?
I think Trump is a guy who he doesn't really like. I don't think Trump really believes anything really. Like Trump is a guy who's kind of just fueled by like the public. Like whatever people want him to be is what he'll be, right? So like I think as like the anti-Israel pressure mounts and like it's getting like bigger and bigger like every week it seems, he'll be kind of pressured into being less and less friendly with them. And I already don't really think he cares for Israel that much, Well,
hold on. I think that's gonna have they're just gonna keep moving the goalposts. So right now it's like Iran and this whole Iran thing, and they're basically not like, to them their red line, Israel's red line, seems to be like a no nuclearly enriched Iran, right? And they know that Iran's not going to budge on that. But let's just say that for whatever reason, Iran comes to the table and they agree to some sort of peace deal where they don't do nuclear. The next goalpost will just be Turkey, right? So they're just going to keep moving the goalpost until Trump has no choice but to betray them. That's kind of, I think, how this plays out, right? So it's not about so much about they're trying to, predict that Trump's going to betray them. They're basically forcing him into a position where he has no choice but to do that, right? If they make a move against Turkey is a NATO country. That is just like a massive move, a historical move that will that'll change the world forever. You know what I mean? In a way that just this Iran thing won't.
Yeah, and according to their own prophecies, right? Like Israel has to stand alone. Right. So in your view, it would make a lot of sense for them to like kind of force
it's like
Trump's
Israel's playing the game of I'm not touching you constantly, right, to Trump, and like we're seeing the reaction of Trump to that, if that makes sense what I'm saying.
Somebody shared this in the replies to our video.
Don't you realize
I saw that
the person you worship is a Jew? Don't you realize?
I thought it was going to be about Trump. Let's see what Jones is saying about Trump as the
That's Ramsey Paul, huge retard.
You can see, I'm going to put this image on screen and just zoom into it very, very slowly. Trump posted yesterday on Truth Social the classic image of Jesus in his triumphant robes, the white and the red, coming down to an injured soldier, and in one of his hands he has the flame of life and he's healing him. And you have other soldiers, female soldiers, looking up to him like he's God, and one of them is praying to him.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. He's pretending to be a doctor. She's praying.
Yeah, yeah.
She's not praying to him. She's just praying in general.
Also, there's literally like a doctor or nurse to the right of him.
Yeah.
So what? What are you talking like? Right? Wouldn't it? If you were a doctor, wouldn't you have like a stethoscope on, like the doctor in the picture?
Right. I've never seen a doctor that looks like that before.
Well, hold on. Adam, bring up the one post I showed that it's the actual art that picture's based off of. Hold on, I'll just post it in the chat. 1 second.
Also, I'm seeing people say that the original one was something different up here, the angels, and then the one Trump posted was a demon. They're really getting into that demon. Did you see that, Donnie?
Yeah, Nick Adams. So Nick Adams posted the original one, and the at the top, those like angel-like things at the top, like they didn't have the wings on them.
Yeah, it's strange that whoever did
this
that,
Nick Adams,
right?
Yeah, that Nick Adams. Yeah.
Alex Jones had the comparison picture up too. He tweeted it earlier too. If you can't find it,
okay.
But I also posted the
and I noticed in one of the comments, how dare you? That's not really what it is. You need to watch out. He's just a servant of God. No, this is a theme from the White House, from Hegseth, and from Trump's spiritual.
The Trump is Satan or Antichrist psyop has dropped. I think that's really what when Jones and everybody is saying it. That's the indication now.
Right.
I mean, I just posted the picture you're looking for, Adam, in the chat, so you can the newest Alex Jones tweet.
Advisor, the Pentecostal lady, the evangelical dispensationalist, that he is Jesus. Okay. So here's my deal. I don't like the turn of events with Trump.
Okay, dispensationalism doesn't teach that the Antichrist is Jesus or that Trump is Jesus, you fucking idiot. But sorry, I'm so sick of these people using dispensationalism as like a catch-all term for philo-Semitic Christians. It's so stupid.
Agree.
Then we need Trump to be good, not bad. This is insane. And to see people defend this stuff, you had Tucker a week ago saying, could he be the Antichrist? I'm like, oh, come on. Well, definitely this is let's just say, not a Christian spirit that we see.
Catholic thing, but also we got to fit the Judaism thing in there sometime because Donnie you guys have to see that clip of the Judaism guy.
Yeah, I gotta see it. Yeah.
All right. I think we're back on. Sorry, guys. Internet crashed. Refresh. Everybody refresh in the chat.
I'm putting the Dan McClellan post back in chat. I don't know if you see that, Adam.
Okay.
Just in case. Because that goes over the painting that this is a reference to. And then I'm just posting again in case clip from JTV.
For anyone wondering what identifies Trump here as Jesus besides the divine powers of healing in his palms, Trump is dressed like Del Parsons' Jesus, complete with the robe dipped in blood, which is a representation quite familiar to contemporary Christian nationalists. Of course, it's the most common depiction of Jesus, pretty much.
The idea that he's like saying that this is a doctor is insane. It's a direct reference to this image. It's so stupid.
Yep.
You know,
White Aryan Jesus.
Donnie, I'm actually curious about this. I totally forgot to. So I've been reading some of like Doug Wilson's work lately. What do you think his take is going to be about this?
So he posted. He said it was cringe and blasphemous is what he said.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, all the Christians. I haven't seen like any Christians like defending it. Interestingly enough,
He crossed the line. He messed with the Holy Spirit. Here we go.
The Trump straight, okay? But then again, we just with all this background, we can't sit here and accept this. So people are really pissed. And I'll say this: whoever's pushing this narrative, who's coming up with this messaging, knows this will turn people off to Trump. Okay? Because I don't think Trump came up with this theme, and I've seen at least 10 times last month, that he's Jesus out of the White House. I mean, this is crazy. And I told you about the threat escalation letter. That Trump goes in, the mullahs don't fall, they close the strait, he tries to go free it with the blockade, that actually keeps it closed, and then inflation explodes and it kills the recovery plan, which the globalists want, which has now happened. That is the facts. No one can defend him. No one can defend whoever is saying he's Jesus. And that's what this is, so don't deny it. Don't try to gaslight. Trump needs to clarify this right now. And when you get
They're
out
not
of this
saying
war,
that
it
he's
escalates
Jesus.
right
I'm
now.
so sick of this.
They admit that it was Netanyahu calling in, killing the negotiation with Kushner, and killing the peace deal. This is insane.
I mean, it is saying he's Jesus. Okay, here's the discussion about how they.
Paula White. I mean, Paula White doesn't say that Trump is literally Jesus. They're saying that he's like a Jesus-like figure, and that Jesus is working through him. That because he's Jesus, like that's evidence that Jesus is working through him. Not that he's literally Jesus.
Right.
I don't know. I guess it's not that. It's a distinction without a difference.
In the center,
I guess, but
why do we think that it's the original? How did it get a demon here?
Other people have noticed that this picture was originally posted by somebody else in February of this year, and yet the one Trump put has been altered. And if the crew can bring up that image, this is the one that Donald Trump
it's
posted.
just weird that it's just that alteration too, right? It's almost like the only alteration was put angels in.
Head. In the original image, it's just soldiers sort of in heaven with the sun behind them. But this one has some sort of bizarre editing that makes the soldier in the center look like he has wings, or maybe a crown, almost like the Statue of Liberty, which of course some say is a interpretation of a drawing of painting of Lucifer. So that is sort of inexplicable, sort of unexplained. I don't know if the crew can find.
I saw people sharing the verse, Donnie. Satan comes as an angel of light.
Yeah. People are saying it's like a demon or something like that.
This is Trump. This is what did you talk about? Like the alien space invasion end times?
Oh yeah, the whole alien thing. Yeah.
This is Trump and his demons coming in.
In the original one.
Yeah.
It's like almost like a Sol Invictus as well, right? It's almost like that specific, that type of crown, you know what I mean, that they have above the angel figure there. It's almost like that's what it's a reference to. I bet you I'll find clips of Jews saying that that's what it is, that it's a pagan reference. I bet.
Yeah. It's weird that it's changed though. It's like that's the only thing that's changed from the original. They added some weird looking Statue of Liberty, Baphomet type of things. I don't know what it's supposed to be.
It's almost like they said add the Statue of Liberty instead of what it is, or like change it to an angel. It's like one of those two things we're told in the prompt.
Here, I found the Chabad rabbi talking about Trump healing people.
So, want to thank the United States of America.
Hold on, real quick. I just realized. Sorry, Donnie. You know what it is? It's the Sanguinus from 40K. That's what the AI is like got a reference to. You know what I'm talking about?
Right. Yeah.
Adam, I'll find a picture of it. In Warhammer 40K, there's like that's what the AI is referencing there. You know what I mean? That's what it's pulling from. Hold on, I'll find it. That's what it's like. That's what it is. Hold on, I'll find it.
So here's the rabbi that got shot at the synagogue years ago in Trump's first term.
Of America.
Chabad rabbi.
Thank our dear honorable Mr. President for being, as they say in Yiddish, a mensch par excellence. Mr. President, when you called me, I was at home weeping. You were the first person who began my healing. You heal people in their worst of times, and I'm so grateful for that.
So good. That's so good. Thank you.
You see, he's the healer. Look at this. Rage against the dying of the light. It's that might be something else, but interesting. That popped in my head. What should I say? Retweet that and be like, the rabbis always knew Trump.
Posted, but the original one just looks like a regular soldier. In this one, I don't know why, but he's got something strange has been manipulated through AI before being posted. Very strange. Yeah, there's the
satanic AI.
There. So again, why would you edit it like this? What is that even supposed to be? People are showing that it looks like it's Lucifer. Again, it would be a bit overt to do something like this, but then again, maybe that's the point. I don't know. What I do know is that Donald.
Well, what we know is, where was it? Oh, shoot. Oh, here it is. This is what you were sharing, right, Amalek? Forced wipe. That looks like what it is. The last pull.
No, that's not what I was sharing, but that's pretty close to it. But here, let me find like a good image of this. I'm just trying to find
like the same thing right there.
It's very similar. Yeah, here. I'm gonna post. I don't really know how else to post this because I can't really show. Hold on.
Martyr Maid says he used to read the book of Revelation and wonder how it was possible that the Antichrist could deceive so many Christians despite openly mocking God and impersonating Christ. I don't wonder anymore. 28,000 likes. Number one meme.
Wow.
Trump is the Antichrist. Look at this. This guy too. 1 million followers says the Antichrist is a real thing. 5,000 likes.
A Muslim
as well.
guy too.
Yeah.
Here, I just posted in the comments a Reddit thread that's got like the picture I'm talking about. That's what I think that the AI is pulling from it. It constantly gets like artifacts from 40K when it does art generation, and I think that that's what's going on here too. See this? Which that itself is based on like a Luciferian angel type figure in that lore that like comes and smashes the demons, and he's almost like an Antichrist figure in that lore.
I don't know. It looked exactly like the other thing.
Well, I think it's both, right?
Yeah. It's just
all
so
from the
weird.
same
Why
thing.
would that be the only thing that changed? It's weird.
That's a good question. I don't know.
All right, let's see what this Jew guy had to say about it.
Yeah, let's
Here's
see the Jews.
What do the Jews say about Trump?
Yeah, I want to see what the Jews are saying about this.
Yeah, I was curious what Adam King would think of Trump pretending to be Jesus.
Adam King.
I mean the JTV clip. Did you?
Oh, yeah, let's do the JTV clip. Where's that? We got the Pope stuff.
I like how clear this guy is and how quick he does videos too, by the way. The JTV guy.
Oh, you like the Jew? You love Jews? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, that's definitely what I'm saying.
I'm just kidding. That's Donnie does. I don't do it. I must have closed it out. Hold on.
It's in there. It's under the chat labeled.
Okay, here we go. Trump is Esau saving Israel.
Week passes, I become more and more sympathetic to this argument that I actually happened to have another conversation with a rabbi about this last week who mentioned it to me without me saying anything. He said there's a Kabbalistic source at the end of a Jewish source at the end of history, Esau, Jacob's brother, who feuded with Jacob, tried to kill him, who Judaism sees as the forefather of the Western world, the Christian world, of Rome, because everything kind of springs from that Roman Empire, the Western world that we have. There's a source that Esau will be reincarnated at the end of days, and he'll do teshuvah, he'll repent, he'll stand with Israel, he'll stand with righteousness. And in that sense, that would make, if Trump were that person, were fulfilling that role, which Rabbi Mendel Kessen, who I spoke to a few months ago, suggested that Trump is that person, then to me, this really,
Kessen is who he
a lot
says.
of this really makes sense to me.
The current rabbi.
The whole point about Esau is that he is earthy, he's impulsive, is quite short-termist, he's very just, he's a man of the world, he's a man of the field, not really deeply spiritually oriented. But his job, his rectification, is to, yes, go completely into the world and feel earthy both inside and out. And yet...
Thank you, Aswat.
Good show. The Mad King trope is often associated with Roman emperors.
Yeah, he definitely seems to be going Mad King in Iran and other situations. The Mad King is going to go mad and turn on Israel at some point. Donnie, if anybody would do it, it'd be somebody like Trump, huh? Would get pissed at Netanyahu for something.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming.
Use that for good. And that sort of, in many ways, captures what I'm saying with President Trump now. And as each week passes, I think more and more, yes, that's what he's doing. And in that sense, he is a sort of, I'm not saying a messianic figure, but a messianic era type figure, an usherer, so to speak, from a Jewish perspective.
Oh.
An imperfect servant, no question, but someone that is, with all his imperfections, fighting for what is right.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think he's referencing there too, by the way, Adam? Do you think it's the Zohar? Or what do you think what exactly is he referencing?
Probably.
Yeah, probably something in there.
I forget where it says that Esau will be reincarnated and that he will basically deliver the Jews victory.
You were wondering if there were any Christian Trump supporters that are defending this. I think we found one. This guy who's super crazy.
Oh my gosh.
He tells everybody, settle down. It's okay. This is one of Trump's biggest worshipers.
Oh,
You can't believe God raised up Pharaoh and not believe he raised up Trump. But so many of us believe that Donald Trump was used by God to do what? Whoop, whoop, to heal a nation, to lay hands on America and bring us back to our sovereignty. Let me ask every one of you that were shocked by this picture. If you'll look at that picture again, you'll really look at it, you'll see what you prayed for. Yeah, those 4 years when you were fighting for Donald Trump, you remember those days. How quickly we forget. You believed he was sent by God to lay hands on this nation and restore our military, make them fly higher than they've ever flown before, to heal our suffering nation. What you believed is in that picture. A man that God used to heal America. You can't believe God raised up Pharaoh and not believe he raised up Trump.
Okay. All right. So they found one defending it. Whitlock. You like Whitlock, Donnie?
I don't know him too well.
Okay. He's calling Trump, criticizing him for comparing to Jesus.
President Trump is a man without a country right now. President Trump is an old man without a country. President Trump is someone that has been put in, I believe, the most difficult position we've ever seen a president, a politician put in. And I know that's saying a lot. And I know I don't have all the historical perspective to say that with sincere confidence. But to the best of my ability, I say it with sincere confidence. The guy has been put in an incredible position. And it makes me sympathetic towards him. It does not make me uncritical of him. I believe it was this morning, or yesterday, I'm sorry, Trump posted on Truth Social this image of himself that looks like he's analogizing himself to Jesus Christ, and he's taking a lot of heat for it. I don't blame people for being upset with President Trump. President Trump is not a Christian. He does not need to be playing with imagery that makes people think he's analogizing himself to Jesus Christ. He needs to cut it out. But, and this is not an excuse, what he's done here is stupid. I'm not going to call it blasphemous, but I'm going to call it really, really stupid. He's putting what's left of his base, what's left of his defenders in a tough spot, and he's giving an indication that he doesn't.
Do you think it's blasphemous, Donnie?
I think it's like kind of bordering blasphemy. It really depends. I mean, it's
kind of a way like honoring. It's almost, you can look at it as he's honoring Jesus in a way.
In a way,
you know.
Yeah,
Well, maybe only if I do it, it's clearly a joke. But if Trump does it, he really thinks he is like Jesus. So maybe it is.
Yeah. He's like, I love that
But
Jesus.
It is so clear the Jews are creating
He's
a
like
cult of
me.
Trump.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
what I think it's so dumb is that like the whole point of like so many Christians get so mad about this when the point of Christianity to some degree like archetypically
Is to be like Jesus, right?
is to be like Jesus. So it's like they want you to act like Jesus, which by acting like Jesus, it's that you wouldn't be so prideful that you posted it, right? So that's where I think the offense and blasphemy is, where it's like that contradiction is what kind of makes them mad, even if they couldn't articulate that. But let's get into the Catholics, dude. This is the best part of the whole thing.
Yeah, I haven't been following it all too closely. Maybe a couple of these short clips will summarize the back and forth.
Oh, I got
Trump and the Pope have been having.
Now look at my role.
Cool.
The message of the church, my message, the message of the gospel. Blessed are the peacemakers. I do not look at my role as being political or politician.
That's another one that's Trump is comparing himself to Jesus. They're always posting, "Blessed are the peacemakers."
Peacemakers, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't want to get into a debate with him. I don't think that the message of the gospel is meant to be abused in the way that some people are doing. And I will continue to speak out loudly against war, looking to promote peace, promoting dialogue and multilateral relationships among the states, to look for just solutions to problems. Too many people are suffering in the world today. Too many innocent people are being killed. And I think someone has to stand up and say, there's a better way to do this. So, thank you very much for the time.
Okay, pretty basic Pope Christian take on the situation, and Trump is outraged by that.
Well,
How
did you read the
dare
tweet?
he?
I think you should go over the tweet.
Okay, go the tweet first.
Yeah, because that's for people who have been following along. This kind of what fired it all off. And then just so you know, leading up to this, what's been going on is the there's been like this back and forth. Last week there was this story that broke where somebody from Pete Hegseth's Department of War apparently insulted the Vatican, insulted the Catholic Church by suggesting that the America or Trump would Avignon the Pope, which is just like a reference to when the French king installed like a fake anti-pope in southern France as like in an enclave essentially. So that story was posted by like a liberal Catholic pro-abortion recent convert who I think that the whole purpose of that was to like divide Catholics on the issue of Trump. That story ended up being not not verified, and the Catholic Church itself came out and issued a statement saying that it was false, and the people that were there said it was false, and all these other people said it was false, and then this happens where basically Trump makes this post attacking them.
I think the rift with the Protestants and the Catholics started even longer with like all of the conversions, like Candace Owens and
the faith advisor
Carrie Bowler. The whole thing at the religious committee, the Catholic, they're pitting 100%. The Catholics versus the Protestant Zionists against each other. That's the dichotomy.
I was just talking to Donnie about this when you got disconnected. What's interesting here is it's like, Trump is Esau, is Rome, and is America, right? But so is, in a way, the Catholic Church and Rome and these things, right? So it's almost like they're trying to pit those two things against each other, if that makes sense. Where they're like competing for who can out Esau each other or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's like those two things are fighting. Well, one thing that is for sure though is I do think that this like Trump is the Antichrist narrative. They do want this wrapped up with Catholics. They do want that idea to be associated with Catholics, while the idea that Trump is maybe, a good figure would be maybe associated more along.
Yeah, Trump's the Antichrist with the satanic, demonic Antichrist Zionist, and then Esau, Edom East is the Catholics and the Russian Orthodox. That's the Esau pinned against each other. Esau West and Esau East.
Yeah.
So it's going to be all the Catholics believing Trump is the Antichrist.
Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen.
And the Duginist,
Yeah, maybe like 15 or 20% of the Protestants will believe that he's an Antichrist figure. I wouldn't doubt that, but the big share of it, I mean, you already see it online. A lot of the Catholics are basically doing this. So it's because this attack has been going on, and this division's been sowing for a long time. The religion board and all these things leading up to this moment, and then the attack last week that happened that was kind of like a fake story, and now we're seeing it kind of like bubble up today where the Trump and the Pope are openly attacking each other. It really is, I encourage anyone to look this up, like look up the concept of like the anti-popes, right? And look throughout history of how many times there was multiple popes or and the fights about that. It's very similar to what we're seeing now, where the other one is calling them Antichrist or not living up to Jesus' teachings and things like that. While one of that's been the history of the Pope, the office of the Pope, is tons of these divisions.
Trump needs to do shorter tweets. I don't like reading all these tweets, especially in the Trump.
It's so bad.
Yeah, it's really wall of text every time.
I can read it if you want.
Okay, go ahead.
He says, yeah, I got it. He goes, Pope Leo is weak on crime and terrible for poor foreign policy. He talks about fear of the Trump administration, but doesn't mention the fear that the Catholic Church and all other Christian organizations had during COVID when they are arresting priests, ministers, and everybody else for holding church services, even when going outside and being 10 and even 20 feet apart. I like his brother Louis much better than I like him, because Louis is all MAGA. He gets it, and Leo doesn't. I don't want a pope who thinks it's okay for Iran to have nuclear weapon. I don't want a pope who thinks it's terrible that America attacked Venezuela, a country that was sending massive amounts of drugs into the United States, and even worse, emptying their prisons, including murderers, drug dealers, and killers, into our country. I don't want a pope who criticizes the president of the United States, because I'm doing exactly what I was elected in a landslide to do, setting record low numbers in crime, creating the greatest stock market in history. Leo should be thankful because, as everyone knows, he was a shocking surprise. He wasn't on any list to be Pope, and he was only put there by the church because he was an American. And they thought that would be the best way to deal with President Donald J. Trump.
Hold on. You can tell he's just been festering this and seething that, like,
yes.
Yeah,
This is
he's
something
got a
that he's
beef
thought
with the
about.
Pope, a big beef with the Pope.
He thinks that the Pope owes him, right, for the office. He thinks that the reason that guy was selected. I think that somebody has told him this from the very beginning. Like when the Pope office selection was going on, they were like, "Oh, but if they choose an American, Donald, it's because they chose him because of you." You know what I mean? Like I could totally see his advisors telling him this, and like that's what he thinks.
Isn't there something like the Pope has a brother that likes
that's
Trump?
Who he's talking about. That's who he's talking about. That's who Louis is. Like,
right.
That's who he's mentioning in this thing. His brother is Louis. So it says, if I wasn't in the White House, Leo would be in the Vatican. Unfortunately, Leo's weak on crime, weak on nuclear weapons, does not sit well with me, nor does the fact that he meets with Obama sympathizers like David Axelrod, a loser from the left. Did you catch that, Adam? I know I retweeted it on my last account before I got banned. Did you catch that before?
What?
Axelrod. The Pope the other morning met with David Axelrod, who was a Obama era like liberal advisor. He met with them, and it was likely to deal with this stuff. That might be what really triggered Trump to piss him off the most because of that meeting. But anyway, so he says Leo should get his act together as Pope. Use common sense. Stop catering to the radical left.
Hold on. Super chat.
Sent $5 on Rumble. Hey guys, although the MAGA base might be against this for now, they have been diehard fans and are also kooky Christians. Do you think there might be a chance that might switch up and start buying it?
It's crazy. All the people kvetching about Trump being Antichrist now are the ones that have been hyping him up as the Messianic savior for years, right? Isn't that odd?
Oh, totally.
They hyped him up. They put him on the pedestal, and they're saying, why is everybody worshiping our idol?
It's literally that is literally the idea of the Antichrist.
Yeah. Right, Donnie? Isn't that exactly who's pushing all this right now?
Mm-hmm.
Marjorie Taylor Greene compared Jesus to Trump. Jesus to Trump also, I remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do remember that. I can't remember the exact instance, but
she was in a car.
She was on my radar. Yeah, I do remember that. I just can't remember exactly what she said.
Oh, here,
same thing. He was persecuted.
Yeah.
Here it is. I found it. Look, bing, bing, boom. I searched it, and I was the first person that came up.
President Trump is joining some of the most incredible people in history being arrested today. Nelson Mandela was arrested, served time in prison. Jesus was arrested and murdered by the Roman government.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is.
All right, did we finish this? We got the good part, right?
Yeah, well, I just finished up. It just says, Leo should get his act together as Pope, use common sense, stop catering to the radical left. Oh, here we go.
Oswald.
$5 on Rumble. The Pope is chosen by the Holy Spirit, and this post is essentially blasphemy.
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
If you're Catholic.
If you believe in it. If you're Catholic, yeah.
Yeah, and doesn't this go along with the whole narrative that all these people have been pushing that the West is evil and demonic and global homo and Antichrist and satanic? Now even more that the leader of Edom is the Antichrist? Couldn't fit any better.
Oh, Dugin is going crazy about this. You'll get into it, I'm sure. You have some of the clips.
We have a bunch of Dugin clips. He's with Professor Zhang and Sneeko, unsurprisingly.
Yeah, it says he just ends it with, he says, it's hurting him very badly, and more importantly, it's hurting the Catholic Church, President Donald J. Trump. Yeah, so that post is crazy, guys. I mean, this is unprecedented, I would say.
Yeah, what's JD Vance is devout Catholic going to say about all this?
Totally true. Like, where's he at? Wouldn't it be crazy if there was like some sort of excommunication or something like that over this? Like, you guys, I don't know if you know this, but that's not just like a simple thing. There's like a whole process behind that, and it's like a public thing. It's a big deal. Like, if they were to excommunicate, like, I mean, I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but like, let's just say if they were to excommunicate someone like JD Vance, that will have.
You cut out.
It's incredible.
That would be interesting.
You're cutting out, I think. Oh, my internet is unstable. No.
I was just going to say, I think it might be you.
Okay.
Sham.
It's kind of storming. It could be storms going on. All right, here, let's listen to the Pope's response to Trump now.
I have no fear. Neither will Trump.
Too quiet. He says he has no fear. Here's Trump attacking him again.
Yeah, I was going to say, this clip right here is good.
And they're going to go back, filled up with oil. okay?
Why did you attack Pope Leo on Truth Social?
I don't think he's doing a very good job. He likes crime, I guess. He hit us. Think of it. He's worried about fear. What about the fear when the ministers and the priests and all of those great people that were arrested during COVID, and in many cases they're outside 10 feet apart, and they were arrested. So,
dude, I can't believe he's bringing up COVID.
I know. Oh, what about 6 years ago, right? That's a reach. He loves crime, and what about COVID? It's like, that's why you attacked him?
It's also interesting that he brings up Venezuela. So from their perspective, this kind of started around that, around the Venezuela thing. Because if you remember correctly, like the Catholic Church was kind of signaling like, hey, this isn't great. We don't like this. Please have some peace. Because obviously Venezuela is like a Catholic country.
Mm-hmm.
That it's okay to have a nuclear weapon. We don't want a pope that says crime is okay in our cities. I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of Pope Leo. He's a very liberal person, and he's a man that doesn't believe in stopping crime. He's a man that doesn't think that we should be toying with a country that wants a nuclear weapon so they can blow up the world. I'm not a fan of Pope Leo.
By against crime, does he mean like how they were pushing back on immigration and deportations? That could be what it's about, right?
Yeah, that's what the original beef was. Yeah, the original beef was basically over I would say immigration and basically specifically like birthright citizenship. So they're really upset about the birthright citizenship moves that Trump's been trying to make. The Catholic Church is obviously like very much against that, and they think that essentially like they for various reasons.
Leaf blower has such a good point. It wasn't even Leo when COVID happened. It was Francis. He's blaming the wrong pope for COVID.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
The COVID thing is funny.
Yeah. So it's even worse. No, they asked, will he apologize? Of course he says no. He's never apologized to anybody for anything, I don't think. Never admit when you're wrong, no matter what. Always claim victory. Rule 48, Trump's 10 commandments.
Robert Barron supports you and your policies. He praises you for defending religious freedom.
Yeah.
He now says you owe Pope Leo an apology. Will you apologize?
No, I don't, because Pope Leo said things that are wrong. He was very much against what I'm doing with regard to Iran, and you cannot have a nuclear Iran. Pope Leo would not be happy with the end result. You have hundreds of millions of people dead, and it's not going to happen, so I can't. I think he's very weak on crime and other things, so I'm not. I mean, he went public. I'm just responding to Pope Leo. And, his brother is a big MAGA person, and he's a great guy, Louis. And I said I like Louis better than I like the Pope. No, yeah.
Hundreds of millions would have died if he didn't bomb Iran. Here's Alex Jones's cope. Oh, yeah. What do you think of that, Donnie? Trump saying that Alex Jones is low IQ nut job that deserved to be bankrupt for Sandy Hook.
Oh, yeah. That's so funny. Just classic Trump. Like, but the second someone turns against him, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
I like the low IQ hats that Tucker Carlson started selling right after. That's pretty funny. I kind of I hope some of his fans go ahead and buy those and wear them in public. And I hope people on Twitter that e-Crusaders who are always in my replies that they buy them and wear them as well.
Yeah.
Don't fight it, Donnie. We've been bonded since the 90s. We don't want those tapes to come out now.
I hate this narrative more I see it too. It's so frustrating.
Tell them that Candace is unattractive. And call Alex Jones a nut job.
I've given you war. I've given you chaos.
This is all. There's a whole scapegoating of Epstein going on. It's a diversion for everybody's attention to be pinned on one guy, Epstein. It's a way bigger picture than this.
He died 6 years ago, and he's so irrelevant to what's going on. At the very most, if I were to give my best, like maybe 10% of this is related to that, maybe, but not like the way these people make it out to
on
be.
Rumble. Hi, Adam Green. Sometimes. Musical notes emoji. I feel like Adam Green sometimes.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are.
See my side E.
Everybody's feeling like Donnie Darkend too.
I know, right?
Thinking Trump's the Antichrist. But yeah, this is like, oh, it's a demon. It's an Epstein venom demon that's controlling him.
It's like, no, it's a Yahweh. It's a Yahweh.
Yeah.
It's a Yahweh.
A greater Yahweh cult cabal. Yeah. Yeah, this is just very cartoonish view of the world.
Everything you've asked me to.
Asked. Silly Donnie. I don't ask.
This goes so hard if you're brown, dude. I'm sorry, but this is.
He's gone. I'm in charge now. You'll get everything. The wars, the money, all of it. Now about these tapes.
I got that.
Pretty good graphics, though. Not bad.
Yeah, it looks good, doesn't it?
This is Alex checking in on Alex Jones after Trump called him a low IQ nut job. No, what I've noticed is Trump now is leading the anti-Trump charge and saying we got to be real Christians and he's the Antichrist and we got to side with. He's going to say we got to side with Russia as the real Christians, right? It's the Gog and Magog, totally Esau West and East clash, where it's all within the Judeo paradigm.
Meanwhile, look at what's Jones's son? Isn't he Eastern Orthodox?
I don't know if he went through with the conversion, actually.
Oh,
I want to get Rex on. Yeah, I need to get Rex on.
Really interesting. I would love to. I would love to hear his kind of opinion from our perspective, because everything that you've said that I didn't say this in the beginning, but and Donnie, I don't even know if you know this, but I started like hate watching Adam because I thought that he was just like wrong about so many things, and one of the things I thought he was wrong about was like Trump coming back. I was like, that's retarded. That's never happening. So I watched both of you guys like just get proven right. And then once I was like kind of up in the air about it, but once that shooting happened in Butler, I was just like, okay, well, I'm just done betting against this at this point. It's obvious that this is what they're going.
Something's going on.
They're obviously going over this like through a script. So I used to disagree with you guys, thinking that this was like basically impossible, that there's no way. I remember sitting around thinking like, I was like, it's going to be so funny when they put Trump in prison and Adam's going to have to explain how he's going to be, Adam's going to have to explain how he's the Antichrist from prison.
Oh, wow.
And now, I mean, we've watched Trump come back and do this whole thing, right? So, I mean, I don't know. That's the whole perspective I came at it from, was from thinking that this was definitely not happening like this.
Look, a Jesuit, Catholic Jesuit priest now on RT or RT sharing, talking about how dare Trump talk about the Pope and the Catholic Church like that.
It's an attacks.
So I was just talking about the Esau Russia thing, and then there it is.
Wow.
There it is. Nick is saying Trump is the Antichrist administration.
RT wants to break the Catholic Church off to their direction, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? They don't want it to be like pro-America or anything like that, or pro-NATO or anything like that. They want it to be in the sphere of like international Abrahamism.
Yeah, they want to turn the global Catholic Church against the West.
Yes.
Roman Empire as the white...
Invoking the Avignon papacy to threaten the Pope because he talked about fostering peace is an insane strategy. Did they not think of second-order effects, or did they really think no one would care?
Yeah, the Pope thing, that is how you know this administration is the Antichrist, because you got Pete Hegseth and Doug Wilson running the Pentagon, and these people hate Catholics. Fuck them. Doug Wilson, dude, I wish the Catholic Church gave fatwas, because fuck this guy.
I remember the clip of him recently. He said something about Catholicism would be illegal in his version of Christian nationalism. Remember that?
Yeah, it's because he basically disagrees with it's like an idolatry thing. He thinks that the veneration of Mary and all the Catholic processions and all those things, that they're like idol worship. So it's literally like it's the most Jewish thing to fight over I could possibly think of. Is our rituals kosher enough? Is essentially what the argument is over. It's so stupid and it's so superficial.
All of the dialectics are all about like the right way to worship Jesus. That's what it's coming into now. Protestant, Catholic, Jews and Christians.
A known reference to the hypothetical biblical Q, German for Quelle or source.
I don't think so.
To reconcile the synoptic gospel problem?
I don't think so. I don't think that Q is related to that. It's not,
but it's interesting. Yeah, it's funny, but no, I don't think they're related.
Yeah. Thank you, Jocelyn, though.
Doug
get
Wilson
those super
said
chats.
he
We got to
would
make the goal.
ban public displays of the Catholic faith. If that doesn't tell you what's going on with Protestants, I don't know what will. Protestants work for the Jews. Protestantism is a creation of the Jews. So if that doesn't...
And all of Christianity's not?
Literally.
Protestant, is Martin Luther a Jew now? The guy that wrote On the Jews and Their Lies, he's a Jew? Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
I love when the Catholics try to do that. They try to distance themselves from Judaism as if
right.
It's kind of funny.
Oh, meanwhile, we got clips of him saying that the real church, the Catholic Church, Christianity was started by all Jews and Jesus was Jewish. So what is he doing? Calling them Jewish,
right?
Protestants Jewish.
Doesn't tell you what's up. That Pete Hegseth prosecuting this war is one of these reformed, theonomist, Protestant preacher guys. And Doug Wilson wants to ban Catholics, but he goes and glazes Yoram Mazzoni. They want Noahide laws. They want us to be enslaved Goyim to Greater Israel. If that doesn't tell you what's up, I don't know what does. Is
that what you want, Donnie?
Only.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's it. I'm not fucking around anymore.
Oh.
I'm done with all the ecumenical stuff. I'm done with anything like that. It's Catholic Church.
Dude, you're disavowed by the Catholic Church, Nick. Why are you shilling? Isn't it crazy that he shills for something that he's like officially disavowed by? The U.S. bishops by name condemned him. And he still says that's the only way. You're evil and antichrist if you're not a Catholic.
It's not that he fell for this story. I hate that he fell for this story. That's fucking, it's embarrassing, honestly. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because as soon as this story broke, I immediately was like, oh, this is bullshit. Because the guy who posted it, or I was suspicious of it because of who posted it and like their ulterior motives and the fact that they wouldn't name their source, right? Like this is just like 2016 liberal reporting, basically, that we felt that they.
Look at what Kalinsky just posted.
Your reckoning has come.
What is this?
Yes. BTFO'd by Jesus.
What is?
That is so funny.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's a meme.
That's what the Jews fear. Rome. Never forget that. The Jews hate Rome.
Is he going to mention Adam King?
Jacob and Esau. That's what it has always been. The older and the younger brother. The birthright forfeited and taken. And that is what they see us.
Hold on, this is backwards though, because if they're Esau, right? Esau got his birthright stolen. Jacob didn't get his stolen. Jacob stole the birthright through lying, so he's backwards on this. And it's like he's willingly playing this Jewish dialectic where you're the twin brother of the Jews, like according to their lore and story. And he thinks that's the way you win.
And like a person of this world and all these other things, right? Like remember that the JTV guy was just explaining this. He's playing into this Jacob versus Esau dialectic. That is the problem here.
Then the older and the younger brother, the birthright forfeited and taken. And that is what they see us as. They see Rome as Esau, and they always will. And they view that as the Roman Empire, as the white race, and the Catholic Church. Not the Protestants. They don't see the Protestants as Rome. They don't see the...
Yes, they do, actually. They do. He's wrong about that. They still think Protestants are Esau. It's just another face of Esau. It's Esau repenting for past persecutions. He's wrong.
Protestants as Esau. They see the Protestants as their goy slaves that will help them bring about the end of the world and the Messiah.
They think the same thing about Catholicism, Nick. They don't differentiate when they say Catholicism spread the Torah and the God of Israel and the belief in prophecies around the world. That wasn't Protestants. That was the Catholic Church.
It's the Catholic Church that stands in the way.
Donnie, your thoughts on that? Is that true? We all got to get behind the Catholic Church to stop the Jews? Is that the answer?
That's like the total opposite.
I mean, Maimonides wrote way before the Reformation was, right? Like,
right.
Like this idea that it's I don't know. It's just he's just factually wrong about this. Like I don't know how else to describe it. They've always viewed it this way.
It's like play the villain in the Jewish story, Goy.
Adam Green sometimes.
See my side. Thank you, Ahooch.
Well, you know what's funny about like a lot of the anti-Semitic Catholics is like, according to Catholic doctrine, like they hate on like quote unquote dispensationalists and Christian Zionists, but if you look at Catholic doctrine, it's more Zionist and more philo-Semitic than a lot of the Protestants, actually, because according to their own doctrine, they believe that the Jews, they must exist in some form so that, you know, they can repent when Jesus comes back. Like that's explicitly in their catechism. And I always point this out every time I see like an anti-Semitic Catholic like reply to me like, "Oh, you're a Jew, dude." I'm like, okay, well, so what about this? And I just never hear back.
Yeah, the Catholics will pretend like it's only Protestants think Jesus is Jewish and like Jesus is not Jewish and Protestant, or it's like replacement theology and they're cursed and they're the synagogue of Satan. That's not what Catholicism teaches.
That's
at
not
all.
At all. Right.
Nick says that though, that the Jews have to be around as Jews till the end time so that they can believe in Jesus and fulfill prophecy. He says the same thing. The witness people.
So I'm like so confused. I'm so confused on like the whole Nick thing, because it's like, okay, if he believes that, then like why isn't he philo-Semitic?
He is in a way.
In a way.
He says their covenant is valid in some sense also.
Right. Biblically it is. I mean, you know, the Abrahamic covenant, according to the Bible, it never ceased, right? Like, you know, those are promises about land. Those are promises about, you know, specific things.
Rochelle sent $5.
Thank you, Rochelle.
A 16-hour book about the Habsburgs. The Catholics were the ones over the last 1,000 years bringing the Jews back into the fold.
Yeah, all this blaming dispensationalism and Protestants only and acting like yours is the solution. If we just Esau hard enough, if we just Esau Max a little harder and become Catholics, that'll stop them. Yeah, right.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It's all versions of Christianity have had issues, and you're right, Adam. The fact that they keep saying dispensationalism, that is not what is causing this. That is just a part of what is causing this.
Like, I'm not a dispensationalist, but I'm still philo-Semitic. You know what I mean? So, like,
I mean, exactly. Like, well, it's not just you, but that's how basically all of them are. None of them have read the Book of Romans, is what I constantly say.
Yeah. They interpret it in such a weird way. The Calvinists do the same thing. The Reformationists and all them.
Yeah, they interpret it as like a indicative of
individual salvation and stuff like that. Predestination, election. But the election is talking about Israel's election, like as a nation. You know what I mean? Like if you actually read it through and not cherry pick, you'll see like it's clearly talking about Israel's sovereign election. Not the salvation, but
I have Catholics saying to me things like, "Oh, Israel means the church," and it's like, okay, I need you to please just show me in Romans where it clearly shows that Paul is specifically talking about like Israel as the church, all Israel, and Israel as like the ethnic branch or the ethnic root, right? Like he obviously sees both categories as legitimate still. So just because Israel is the church to you guys, which whatever, I'll just grant them that for the sake of argument, doesn't mean that there's, you know, every single time the Bible says the word Israel, that means the church. That's not that's not true at all.
Well, there's actually absolutely nowhere in the Bible where the Gentile church is called Israel, actually. Like they'll point to Galatians 6:16 where it says the Israel of God. Well, actually, if you look at it, it's talking about two groups. It says that to them and to the Israel of God. So the them is talking about the Gentile Christians, and then the Israel of God is talking about the Jewish Christians. That's what's going on there. But people ignore that part.
I'm seeing somebody. Hold on, somebody screenshotted a bunch of replies on Trump's True Social of that post. Everybody calling it blasphemy and outraged. That I think that's the point of this. Trump didn't think, oh, they'll love this. Whoever was involved with him posting this knew that this would inflame and incite everybody. They had to have known that this would not go over well. So I think they did it intentionally. They want everybody to think Trump is the Antichrist.
Gerhart sent $20 on
Very
Rumble.
Interesting.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you. And then instead of like being humble and admitting like, oh, sorry, this offended everybody, I didn't mean it that way, he lies. It makes it even worse, which is only going to inflame it even more.
Right.
Okay.
And he knew that was
Also,
BS, like
what?
the way he's like smirking, he knew that excuse was BS. Like,
Yeah.
like if you watch the way he looks, like,
yeah,
it's almost like someone
gaslighting the nations. That's like I did not have sexual relations with that woman type of lie to the public.
Right.
Nobody's buying that he didn't know that was Jesus.
Right. So for sure.
Trump also over the weekend, yesterday, announced a blockade on the Strait of Hormuz. No one who pays an illegal toll will have safe passage on the high seas. So naval blockade, all ships, which has begun now.
The U.S. declaring
News alert because starting now, the U.S. military will begin
This is
enforcing
highly
a
illegal, by the
full-scale
way.
blockade of all maritime traffic into and out of Iran as Navy minesweepers clear a path to open the Strait of Hormuz after high-stakes peace talks end without a deal. Welcome to a brand new hour of America's Newsroom. I'm Dana Perino.
Morning to you. I'm Bill Hemmer. Here we go. This is the hour. The fate of the 2-week ceasefire.
So Kushner and J.D. Vance failed. They could not strike a deal. They sure hyped it a lot.
As Iran refuses to give up on its nuclear program. The U.S. declaring a naval blockade against Iran after both sides walked away from the talks late on Saturday. The Strait of Hormuz is a key flashpoint as the president ramps up the pressure continuously on Tehran.
News alert because starting now, the U.S. military.
What do you guys think about the blockade? Hold on, one more clip about him announcing the blockade, and I'll get your guys'
It's
takes.
going on. Just right now, there's no fighting. Right now, we have a blockade. They're doing no business. I didn't like seeing boats come out if they were doing business with Iran, but if they weren't, no boats came out. So now Iran is doing absolutely no business, and we're going to keep it that way very easily. Don't forget, their Navy is gone. They're just going.
Oh, I think that's probably the last one. Yeah. Any takes on the blockade, guys?
Well, two things. First, Vance was there doing this meeting, and he was apparently like texting or calling back to Donald Trump. So he didn't even have full authority to make any deals, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing is it seems to be that their condition for this is that there will be no nuclear enrichment. Like that's their line, and that is not going to happen. Like Iran is not going to agree to that. They're not going to agree to anything that looks like that, where they're not allowed to enrich uranium or anything. And that seems to be, in my view, that is like an Israeli foreign policy goal that Trump is enacting, essentially, right? Like that is not just like an idea, a red line that Trump came up with on his own. You know what I mean? Like he was given that as his thing. And then the third thing I'd say about the Strait of Hormuz stuff is that they are toying with all these different ways of like splitting the payment. So what they're saying is,
I hope sent $5 on Rumble. He's Nick F. Not backward you are. It's both ways. He's right and so are you. There is no wrong theory except yours. I'm being nice. Adam Smile Catholic is the best way BC. It's a universal pledge.
Houch is a Catholic? That's a surprise. Okay,
That's
continue,
funny.
Emily.
Basically, like the Straits of Hormuz, like they're trying to argue over how the toll collection is going to go. So part of the deal was apparently that the U.S. and Iran would split the tolls, or that they would do the tolls in denomination of American currency and things like that. None of those things are happening, guys. I just want to make sure everyone knows that is not fucking happening. If that is like the type of deals that Trump is trying to do and all that stuff, then I would say this: the point of the deal is to not actually get a deal through. The point of the deal is to make sure that they can point and say like, oh, look, we tried to deal with them. We tried to be nice with them. We tried to reason with them, and they spit us back out. We tried to have a deal. Look, we even suggested that we would pay, that we would split the proceeds of the toll. Oh, look, we even, that's the point.
Yeah, all the negotiations have been a ruse, pretty much, like all the ones in the past.
They are not authentic negotiations. And what's maybe interesting is
it's weird that they would even pretend to still be wanting to negotiate, though. Also, because they've already done that. You'd think that they wouldn't have to keep pretending to do negotiations.
Well, I think it's the save face for our allies. Countries like Japan and South Korea, and these countries are very nervous because we're pulling military assets out of their region, and also I mean, Europe and Asia are about to enter like what is called like an energy crisis like we've never seen before, and their people are not going to be
You're cutting out a little bit. Okay.
I'm done.
Let's hear this. CNN Reverend talks about Trump.
He, of course, has said, as you just heard, he thought this was him being, depicted as a doctor. Not everyone sees that as a doctor. What do you make of this, both this image and the backlash to it in this moment?
Yeah, I don't know too many doctors that have glowing hands. So that's the most Jesus-looking picture I think I could imagine.
Everybody's covering this. It's the #1 story. Piers Morgan had a panel discussing it. CNN, Fox News, all the big social media influencers. The Trump
search on that
Trump
YouTube
Antichrist meme is
There's 600 more videos from when I searched in the beginning of the show.
Wow.
So just in like the last hour or however long it's been, 600 more videos have been posted. This is it, guys. This is going to be the narrative. And think about this. This is how history is written too. They'll point to this and be like, look how he was acting all like an antichrist. He was going mad. Things like that. That's how they do this.
He thought he was God.
Once you see it, you can't.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Okay.
And I think it was pretty shocking to me that someone would put themselves in the place of Jesus. And as your reporter was just saying, it came after he had just been tweeting out a pretty hateful attack on Pope Leo. So obviously religion was on his mind last night. And that probably came from watching the 60 Minutes special with the 3 cardinals. So I guess he was, thinking about religion, and that's what came out.
He, of course, has said,
the idea that he posted that with no reference to religion is so
Born
funny.
Dare Edom sent $5 world going nuts to make sense of Trump's insanity. Adam's focus is the only way I've found to make sense of it. Only plausible alternative theory, which is less supported, is so-called Illuminati shenanigans. We are cattle being driven to slaughter.
It's not the Illuminati. We need the Illuminati to save us from the Zionists.
$5 on Rumble. Hey,
yes,
we'll be there in a few weeks. As a sweet Icelandic American, thanks for waking up.
Thank you, Viking bro. Somebody's sending me an axe. I got axe mogged by Alex Jones, so somebody's sending me an axe for the studio. That'll be so cool.
You got to do it right. You got to say Thor came to you in a dream and told you to craft the axe the day before that aired on the show. We're
gonna do something like that. I thought the same thing. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm gonna have a miracle from Thor for my axe. Did you see that, Donnie? Alex Jones getting the axe on air, the battle axe, and he started crying, saying, and then Harrison Smith said, Alex Jones is literally, he said, quote, literally endorsed by God, because somebody sent him an axe when he had on this pastor that was calling Alex Jones the battle axe.
I didn't see that.
Okay, let's see here. We got Candace Owens attacking Laura Loomer and Alex Jones apologizing to Candace.
Wow.
We got Gavin McInnes talking about everybody blaming the Jews for everything. Tucker Carlson is selling Russell Brand's How to Become a Christian in 7 Days book.
How to Become a Christian. For decades, Russell Brand was one of the most
before we get
famous
into this, I
sure.
be out.
Okay.
Yeah, but thanks for having me on, and all that.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be funny to see kind of the fallout of all this. I just sent Amalek. I just sent him Vaush. Even Vaush is calling the Trump tweet blasphemous. Like,
I was gonna say that too. Even the left wing are doing this too. By the way, secular leftists are doing this thing where they're basically like feeding into this, saying like, wait, maybe he is the Antichrist. Maybe there is something to it, right? Which is
right. So interesting. I'm wondering now, like I wonder if the plan, like kind of like how you said, like were we just kind of ahead of the curve on like what the narrative would be, rather than
we were seeing the foreshadowing and like the breadcrumbs being laid early on.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm starting to look at it. But gonna be interesting to see how it goes forward. But anyways, I gotta go, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for stopping by, Donnie. Good to have you.
All right, see you guys later. Bye.
See you, dude.
Bye. I'm like.
After this post here, then bring up the Alex Jones falling for the video game clip after I posted in the chat too. Right. That's a good one.
Look, 42,000 likes. I love how Candace gets credit for being ahead of the curve on Trump. It's like, of all people, Candace, who only started criticizing Trump like recently, like while she was in Jerusalem celebrating the moving of the embassy for Trump with Charlie Kirk, there were other people exposing Trump and all of this, but whatever, Jones. Yeah, let's give Candace and Nick Fuentes all the credit for being the anti-Trump leaders, please. Let's hear this.
And though I highly doubt that you will be permitted any opportunity to see what the crowd now thinks of you, I have to do my best to try. So here you are. Take a listen.
I don't know who's whispering to this guy's ear, like freaking Grima Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings, but they're telling you wrong stuff, bro. Half of the people that I grew up with in this movement are not on Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin's team. Okay, we aren't neocons. We aren't war hawks. We want America first. And if you make me choose between America first and MAGA, it's America first all day. That's what MAGA was supposed to be. You were just the best vessel for it, bro. Don't get it twisted.
But as bad as he is, as corrupt as he's gotten, the insider trading, all of it, I'm really glad he's differentiating and saying, you're not with me, because I'm not with you. I don't want to be at your cool, corrupt kid, Howard Lutnick, Jeffrey Epstein class table. Thank you so much for delineating that I'm not with you, a sinking.
See, they're even making it about Epstein. It's not about Epstein.
His original mission. He wasn't loyal to.
This is the Russia talking point too. It's the Epstein war and the Epstein class and eating babies and cannibals and demon worshippers, Baal and Moloch worshippers, right? All of that ties in. That is the whole paradigm right there, the dichotomy.
America, and he became a creature of Israel, and Benjamin Netanyahu and all of his never Trumper enemies are now the courtiers with the madness of King Lear, telling him the lies and worshiping him the way he wants to hear it, and I am not one of those people.
This proves one of many things. The first thing, he shouldn't be in office anymore. Implement the 25th. He's not loyal to this country, and he's not loyal to anybody. Well, except for that little country in the Middle East. It's almost like he does what he's told. And the last president to tell that little country no was JFK, and we all know what happened to him. It's like, Donald Trump, how can you call them losers when you lose to Bibi Netanyahu in Israel every single day? When's the last time you told them no to anything?
He said Brigitte Macron is far more beautiful than Candace Owens.
All I can say is he's blind.
That's all across the internet. Take your pick, left and right. People understand.
I think that they're probably right. By the
that
way.
message was really.
Right about what? I love how she pulled in the old grandma to say Candace is way prettier than Macron.
The base is not with Trump on this at all. Like the normal day, everyday people are not with Trump, and he probably is being fed. I mean, he cited a CNN poll that listed that he had 100% approval rating among Trump supporters. That's insane. That's just. I mean, if he believes that, he's gone crazy. And whoever's like feeding him that information is just trying to manipulate him. Like that's crazy if he actually believes that.
Yep.
That's all across the internet. Take your pick, left and right. People understand that message was really your basket of deplorables moment. I mean, even on Truth Social, your very own platform, they've turned on you. Let's go through just some of these responses, okay? What? You are way out of line. Most of these people, especially Alex Jones, have been your day ones. That's correct. Just to remind you, Trump, when no one would have you on, when no media company would have you on, Alex Jones had you on his show.
That's not true. Trump has been going all over news and shows his whole life. He was like the top billionaire Playboy celebrity. What are you talking about? Nobody would have Trump on.
BCI never took sacraments. What I am is the chosen one. ChatGPT can kiss my ring.
All right. House chosen one. You got the title, bro.
Person continues. You need to take a step back and take a good hard look at who is whispering in your ear and get back to America first. Next person, Trump, you are just going against everyone that fought for him to win just because of the Epstein files and being at war with Iran for Israel. They didn't leave MAGA. MAGA left them. Clearly, you are insane. Time to resign, Donald, or face the 25th. You are mentally and emotionally unfit to be POTUS. You are so childish. Clearly, the truth has triggered you, being one of your biggest supporters. I am done with you and your lies. Look at the mess that you have gotten our country into by bending the knee to a monster. I could go on, but I have to say that when I was looking online, in my view, what was the most brutal and sadly a recurring response all across social media was this. Take a look at this tweet about Charlie. People were saying that Charlie would be on this list if they hadn't killed him. I said many people.
Thank you for the sub. Charlie would be on the list. That's disputable.
Said that in different ways. Charlie would be on this list if they hadn't killed him. So you should probably take a second to fully absorb what is being implied there. What is being implied there is that there is no truth and there is no loyalty
They killed
within
them.
you.
Fuck off.
So they didn't take out all of you. They only took out Charlie. He was the linchpin, huh? And
Totally embarrassing.
that's all. Oh, Charlie would have been. That's questionable. Okay, here, let's check out this girl.
Talking about this image, right?
This girl, my favorite Christian doomsday.
Talking about the straight up blasphemy in this picture that he reposted. But are we really surprised at this point in time?
Not at all.
Really surprised that he would repost something like this? And yes, as a follower of the Lord Jesus Christ, this is blasphemous. He is depicting himself in Christ-like symbolism. That is blasphemy. He is a political figure. He politically leads our nation. But now he's depicting himself in Christ-like symbolism. That is blasphemy. However, I am not surprised because I know who this man is. As a follower of the Lord Jesus Christ who reads her Bible, who knows that we are in fact, according to Scripture, in the last second, this does not surprise me. And there is so many layers of deception that is happening right now in this world. It is so frustrating to watch this play out. Because on one side, we have so many of you and so many in the church that are defending this image, that do not see the issue with this image.
You know what else, too, that makes it a ruse? I just thought about all of the outrage, all the theatrical pearl clutching and calling him Antichrist and crying about blasphemy. They all, in a way, want Trump to be the Antichrist because they need the Antichrist. In order to LARP along that their prophecies are real and Jesus is going to return, they want Trump to be the Antichrist.
Yeah, thinking you are in the end times is one of the most narcissistic ways to view the world possible. If you think you're like in the main character of the climax of the story of all of history, you think you're literally like in the movie, you're part of that movie, and that the whole world like revolves around that narrative or you yourself through that narrative. That's how they all view this.
Yeah, they get like turned on by it. They get excited.
More than the evildoers on this earth. That frustrates me more. The apostasy, the falling away of the church right now, the compromising of the church.
Which they need, which is all things they need, the apostasy.
$5 on Rumble. Antichrist maxing.
Antichrist maxing. That's what I should have said. Instead of Jesus maxing, I should have said Antichrist maxing.
More frustrating to me than anything else. Watching some of you so-called Christians, so-called followers of the Lord Jesus Christ, compromise and align yourself with blasphemy, align yourself.
Look, another big Trump shill now. You don't play with God. Patrick Bet David, seething over this. Dude, nothing bigger in the world than Trump doing an AI. I mean, the prophets foretold that the son of perdition would LARP as Jesus in AI photos, right?
It's so stupid. Dude, they were doing this during the 30 Years' War. The Catholics were calling the Protestants and Luther and all their leaders. They're calling like the leader of Sweden the Antichrist, the Lion of the North, all this stuff. And then the Protestants were calling the Habsburgs and the Pope Urban and all these guys the Antichrist and all this other stuff. This is just like how this story functions when it's applied to the political world. It's fucking crazy that they point at each other, call each other Antichrist, call each other blasphemous. That's part of how this works.
Here, look. Here's NBC or MSNBC.
Take them off right now. I can. Yes, my fake news glasses were deceiving me. Let me take them off right now. I can see it more clearly. That is a doctor's coat, not a white robe. And those are his hands delivering antibiotic lotion, not golden beams of healing light. And those things above him, well, they're people he saved, not in the biblical sense, but in the made them better sense.
See, now the whole story is not only that he's blaspheming and wannabe Jesus LARPing, but he's also a liar. He's lying about it to make matters worse. The whole story.
Lie is so stupid. Not a single person believes that lie.
I know. Who told him that was a good idea?
It was like it's like
that
when a
is
child
more frustrating.
It's bizarre. It's not even a lie that like it makes me think the post was deliberate to make everybody freak out, and then the lie also to make matters worse, to make people freak out. I think it's on purpose. Literally.
Maybe. And maddening than anything else right now. See, because I could post this image and y'all would get offended. We don't idolize him. We don't put him up on a pedestal. He's not our golden calf. And then he.
Oh yeah, that one too. Remember that?
Y'all support it. Y'all defend it, and y'all.
The AI Gaza video.
This is
with him and
modern
BB
day
in the pool.
golden calf worship.
Well, the golden
This
calf.
is idol worship, and y'all aren't even seeing it. But here's the thing. This is only a small part.
Thank you, Trey. Hey, thank you for all those edits. I've been reposting them on TikTok. Follow Trey on TikTok. Follow me on TikTok.
So many layers. There are so many levels of deception right now. There are so many psyops in play. Y'all, the water is muddy, and I get it. It's hard. It's difficult.
Oh, we're hard. All right. All right. Joel Webbin. Is Trump the Antichrist? Let's hear a bit of this. Let's hear how much. Dude, what's with these guys and all their alcohol backgrounds? Is that what I would never consider? Let me put up a bunch of alcohol. Like they're LARPing as Christians and they put tons of liquor behind them. Isn't that weird?
It's like to signal masculinity when
Yeah.
you have none. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I know
Good point.
what's masculine to like someone who's not masculine. It's alcohol.
Yeah.
That's
And cigars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I?
And we'll get some bull horns. It's me grabbing the bull by the horns. It's a metaphor.
Also, part of it is that Elijah Schaefer builds all their studios, and he's a fucking retard. So
Right. Yeah, those are Elijah's. He just like has bottles with him everywhere. He's like, I got some spare bottles. You want them? Yeah, good
Donald
one.
J. Trump is the Antichrist? No. Do I think that he is an Antichrist? Many Antichrists have gone out into the world. Maybe. But even then, probably not. And here's why. Because he's not bad, because he's not blasphemous, because he's... No. He's blasphemous. He's a narcissist. He's arrogant. And in his second administration, he is doing a terrible job.
Yeah, you're right. Suits,
Princess Wrong.
beards, liquor, cigars.
Hi, Adam. Started your book.
Yes. Thank you, Lisa.
Thanks for podcasting us through the
Yeah.
rise of the Antichrist Lamau. Reminds of the Tim LaHaye book series.
Yeah. Yeah, people have been primed and conditioned to be apocalyptic fanatics for a long time with books like that and Antichrist films. Joel Webbin is going to enlighten us. Yeah, I'm already want to turn him off.
That said, the Bible is specific. You don't get to generalize and just make it whatever you want it to be. And the only book of the Bible, namely 1 John, that actually uses the term Antichrist and plural Antichrist defines what the spirit of the Antichrist is. And if we're going to go with the Bible's clear, specific definition of the Antichrist or the spirit of the Antichrist that can possess many individual people, men and women alike, and did at the time of John and still does today in our time as well, the specific criteria for an Antichrist spirit is someone who denies that Jesus has come in the flesh. There are many people today who deny that Jesus has come.
So us.
And that he is the Son of God, and
Yeah.
who are deceiving and teaching others that Jesus has not come in the flesh, that he is not the Son of God. In that sense, Paula White would not be one of the Antichrists. She would
Oh
be a
my
false
gosh.
prophet and a false teacher.
That's not what the Antichrist is, dude. What a cope. He's running cover for Trump, huh?
I don't like Paula White, but this they want to scapegoat her and dispensationalism and all this other shit, and there's so little differences between them and her. It's actually stunning.
Okay, here's one of your clips. Candace attacks Loomer as a fake
Trump
Jew. This
has
should be
done
awful.
various deals with various kinds of devils.
Yeah, I gotta
He
watch the
is
whole thing here, but
definitively
it's pretty funny.
surrounded by certifiable lunatics, one of them being Laura Loomer. And that's putting it mildly. I mean, she has been committed multiple times by her own family. She once chained herself to X, to Twitter headquarters. It was actually Twitter. When
It's
she
gonna
did
be me to
this,
get my Twitter account back.
And wore a yellow star. She's not even Jewish. If you ask her to produce a photo of her bat mitzvah, she cannot, because she was not bat mitzvahed and she is not Jewish. It's just something she's playing the part of. It's one of her many personalities. And she proudly promotes the fact that she is one of Trump's closest advisor. A certifiable lunatic is one
We
of his
do have a
closest
Loomer-occupied
advisors.
government. That's true.
Dude, the idea that she didn't have a bat mitzvah so she's not Jewish is so stupid. So stupid.
Well, it's not as stupid as the idea that that Adam King would date somebody who's not Jewish.
Exactly.
That's actually the best evidence that Laura Loomer is Jewish, is that Mashiach Adam King went ahead and dated her.
Adam would never be with a shiksa, so of course that no greater proof than that she's Jewish
100%.
than that. And a man or a woman. A Jewish woman confirmed by Adam King's circumcised wiener eyewitness testimony.
Verified descendant of David.
She yesterday proudly promoted the fact that she was behind his tweet last night to me and Tucker and Megan, but to Tucker Carlson in particular. Take a listen.
Did you see this
to
clip of her saying
being
this?
Braggadocious.
No.
But
oh yeah, this one I did see. Yeah.
Tucker. And yeah, I'm just going to admit it. I sent the president Tucker Carlson's clip so he can see the that he says about him. I do. And I want that mother Tucker
Dark
Carlson
Esther,
to know
dude.
that I'm the one who knifed him from the front. I want him to know. I'm not talking about physical violence, physical knifing. But yeah, I'm the one that sent the president all your Tucker, because he deserves to see the fact that you are lying about him and you are smearing him and you are saying the most vile things about our country and our president, and you are creating
She
so
has
much
more
chaos
power
cause
than
the
almost
Democrats
all
to
of the
take the House
dissident
and
right
Senate,
combined.
and you are endangering our
Straight
national
up.
security.
I know
by
that's a terrible thing, but I'm just telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
She literally was. I mean, somebody super chatted into Nick's show, but I've seen other people confirm this, that she's going in and meeting in the Pentagon, dude. Do you understand how crazy this is? She's meeting with people
she was
in
on
the Pentagon,
right, and telling them who to fire, and then they'll fire them. I did one of my early on my channel. I did a video called Laura Loomer, Zionist Princess, and she literally turned into like the most influential Jew, one of them in the country, with Trump at least in his ear.
Absolutely, she is. Her whole strategy of like cozying up to Trump just totally worked. Absolutely worked. Nick supported her to some degree, and
exactly. And Alex Jones, Infowars, and Nick were some of her bigger supporters when I was saying, "What are you guys doing? They're all a bunch of Zionists." How'd that age, guys?
100%. But they kind of thought that they would get like one over on her. They didn't take her very seriously because of who she is and how she acts. But like, she won out, man. She has the influence. She's the one who's got the direct connection. And to what degree they thought that they had that, like it was only through her, right? That's kind of what this reveals.
Is Islam. So I just hope that he knows that, yes, Tucker, there are people out there who actually have the courage to take your drivel and take your bullshit to the president and to stand up against you. I don't know who Tucker Carlson thinks he is. He thinks he's so popular. Even President Trump today called him out and said he's like a third-rate podcaster. I don't know why Tucker Carlson thinks he's so special. He's not. He's not special. He is endangering the lives of Christians, of Catholics, of Jews, and all non-Muslims in the way that he continues to whitewash this death cult ideology, and the way that he continues to incite violence against evangelicals and Jewish Americans, and even the president himself.
One of his top advisors, ladies and gentlemen. What more can we say?
That's good enough, pretty much. She just cries about it the whole time.
By now, the majority of Americans understand that the truth.
I thought she was going to be like, she's a Khazar. I didn't realize it was going to be that. Look at this. We found another one defending Trump. This is so ridiculous. Allie Beth Stuckey, some Christian woman, says, I do believe that he didn't think of this as a depiction of Jesus when posting. Still, there has to be more care and discernment. No way. She's saying he's right. Candace says, come on, enough. I do believe you don't believe this. I believe you were lying. Unbelievable. How embarrassing. They will defend anything, some of these sycophants, huh? Here's Hassan Mehdi.
People of faith would say the worst. All these like very prominent right-wing conservative Christians are now saying, this is wrong. This is blasphemy. Why would he post this? And it's like, it took you 11 years to work out what the rest of us realized on day one of his public campaign for president.
Exactly.
This is the most unchristian, anti-Christian, irreligious, anti-religious, amoral, immoral man to ever run for the presidency of the United States. And there have been a lot of immoral anti-Christian people who have served as president. He's topped them all. Like this guy, it's not just, oh, he's an atheist or he's not religious. He is a malignant narcissist. He worships himself. It's the worst. You know, those of us who are people of faith would say the worst kind of people are the people who turn themselves into God. That is how he sees himself, right? The man has no sense of self-reflection, self-criticism. He's never said sorry for anything in his life. He's never accepted he's done anything wrong. He's never conceded an election. And he does see himself now as some godly figure. Why wouldn't he? He's got a cult of people, a cult of sycophants, both in his cabinet and in his base, who worship him, who hang on his every word. And this is what you end up with. This is the kind of blasphemy.
Erica Kirk's response to Candace Owens.
Made a very deliberate choice, but it's freeing.
It is freeing.
It is freeing when you can say, I pray for them, even though they hate me. I pray for them. Because it frees you from, like you said, Pastor James,
True Christian,
that poison. And it frees you from that hold that they could have on your heart because you won't let them break you. That's right. You won't let the world break
Love the braids, Viking Queen.
And it's even personal for me. I have two children to raise. I have an organization to run. I have students counting on me to show up. And that is where my energy goes. That's right. Every single day, that's where my energy goes. And, you know, and Pastor James, you know this too, at a micro level, you know, we see it. We live in an attention economy where it's designed to keep people angry and it's designed to keep people divided and continuing to scroll and to get their clicks. And a solved problem on the internet or wherever does not drive engagement. And a resolved grievance does not generate clicks. So some people, you know, have made a very deliberate choice to live their life that way. And you, Pastor James, and all the other people that are inside of Bible in 365, that is their business. That's not
where she's
ours.
with
Our
Bible
business is of the
365.
Lord. And every single day, no matter how much you talk about us, that's your business. Our business is the Lord's, and we will just pray for them and keep moving and keep building. That is our business. That's right. Our business is kingdom business. Everything else is of the world.
It's about our Father's business.
Amen.
Gavin McGinnis rips into those who blame Jews for literally everything, every single word.
Guys throw a bomb, 2 bombs. You're constantly blaming the Jews for all your problems, and you guys are so relentless, man. We're talking about fucking bagels, or not even bagels, bread, and you gotta bring in the Jews. I said the other day, Japan needs more Catholicism, and the reaction was, why? So more people can worship a Jew?
Yes!
That was our guy. That was our...
That's true, though.
He's literally talking about he's literally talking about all of our people went in there and just ripped him for that one. If you go to the post, you'll just see through it all, and all of our guys, my old account, all of us were replying to him, saying that to him.
I wonder who that was. That's so funny. Why? So you could all worship a Jew? Yes. Dude, you're the one that says that Christianity is just like Judaism with like a few more miracles.
Yeah, that's true. Real quick, for the people who do all that reply guy stuff, right here, this is the fruits of your labor. This is why it's so important that we get in there and do that stuff. It gives us clips like this. It gives us stuff like this. It has an effect on the mass consciousness of our people. So it's that, you know, this it might seem stupid, it might seem childish, but getting into the replies of these people and doing this kind of stuff, it gets in their head. And I mean, look, just 2 years ago, we were not in the replies of these people. We were not in their heads. And now we are, and it's very obvious that it's working. So keep doing it. Good job, guys, because we definitely got in. This clip was made by us.
Yep.
In the Jews. I said the other day, Japan needs more Catholicism. And the reaction was, why? So more people can worship a Jew? What? You promote Christianity and you're accused of promoting Jews?
Yes! Yes!
Aren't they called the Matzah-Christs?
Oh, just wait.
I got
a nice story.
Terrorist attack in New York. 2 guys throw a bomb. 2 bombs that don't detonate. Way to go, Jews. Muslims attack us for being infidels, and you go, fucking Jews. Even fucking, what's her name, Irina?
Well, Jews created Islam too, bro.
Zarutska gets her throat slit. Thanks a lot, Jews, for having a deranged black career criminal on a bus who slit throats. So fucking relax with this. I'm at a party, it's 2 in the morning, and that's friends of mine I'm talking to. I'm yelling at my own friends here. They'll take me aside, and it's a great time. We're having a great night, and they're just like, don't you think it's kind of weird that the media and the banks, and fuck off, dude. It becomes this crutch where everything wrong with your life is the Jays. It's like blacks who say, I can't be alert, I can't be successful because of systemic racism, so why even try? You sound like a pussy and a wimp when you blame someone else for all your problems. You're also, in a weird way,
saying Jesus is Jewish and Christianity is a Jewish religion is not like coping about our problems. It's just a fact. Remember when he was with Fuentes and Fuentes said like, yeah, we're like the true Jews in the new Israel, spiritually Jewish. And he's like, so you're like a new Jew? And he's like, yeah. But if we say it, it's, oh, you slipped on a banana peel and you blame everything on Jews for no reason. It's like, no, dude, people that promote Christianity are promoting the Jewish Messiah and the God of the Jews. That's just fact. Fact.
Absolutely. Well, what's funny about him is I guess it was 2015, or I guess somewhere around there. He said this on his show publicly. But he basically was a member of the Knights of Columbus. You know what that is, right? It's sort of like a men's club, not a secret society, but also sort of a secret society for Catholics. Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't know if you've heard of
I've maybe heard of the name, but I don't know anything about it.
So he joins the Knights of Columbus in New York City, and gets to some sort of rank where he's sitting at this table with all the leaders, and he sits down for the first time, and he sits down, and the first thing he says is, so it's the Jews, right? And he was like half kidding and half not, but they threw him out for that. So what a fucking hypocrite he is. He complained about this when it happened. That's how I know about it. It was, like I said, it was like more than 10 years ago. So what a hypocrite he is. So that's the reason he kind of has this position, by the way, because all those things happened to him. He did get canceled and in trouble for quote unquote anti-Semitism while he was in New York City. So he has this point of view, and he's doing this sort of rhetoric because that's where he's coming at it from. He knows about the Jewish question and all this stuff. He knows about all of it, I assure you.
Well, you can know all about it and say that there's legitimacy to those concerns, but still also acknowledge there are people online that are schizos and do really blame absolutely everything and anything solely on Jews and like take it to an extreme. But creating Christianity, that's definitely a Jewish thing. The Jewish Messiah, the Jewish Bible, the Jewish God, like saying that's Jewish has nothing to do with, it's just reality.
Well, also like blaming Islam being in the West is also just like obviously the broom of that's obviously the broom of Ishmael or broom of Esau, however they do use that term. Yeah. So exactly. So.
All right. Jewish supremacist. When you say they're just better than us, they control everything. There's nothing I can do. It's like when you talk about taking over the Native Americans. I don't like that kind of talk. My kids are natives. You make the natives sound like pussies. They were just sitting here smoking a peace pipe and we killed them all. No, they were worthy adversaries we fought for 320 years. So stop talking about Jews like they're your mommy and daddy and they're sending you to bed too early, you fucking fag. We're talking about fucking bagels, or not even bagels. We got to call out what is going on with this fucking relentless anti-Semitism. And they always say to me, read the room. What are you doing, Gavin? You're the only one not on board. What do they have on you? I've criticized the Jews a ton, and I've criticized Israel a ton, but I'm capable of fucking nuance, okay? My Jews hate the secular Karens that cancel people. My Israelis hate Netanyahu and his war hawk sensibilities. He doesn't want to just fuck with Iran. He wants to fuck with everyone until they're gone. Fuck him.
By the way, those are two different groups of Jews he's talking about when he says my Jews there.
Jews for all your problems, and you guys are so relentless, man. We're talking about fucking bagels, or not even bagels, bread, and you got to bring.
Yeah, bad example.
Needs more Catholicism, and the reaction was why, so more people can worship the.
Okay,
Jew.
we heard that.
Jesus.
Okay, here's the edit from Amalek. Got it.
Don't you dare.
From See Through It All, yeah.
Were the ones who petitioned Congress to add under God in our Pledge of Allegiance in the 1950s.
Yep.
Yeah, I looked it up. Catholic Charity. That's a nice fire edit. We'll save that one. All right. Russell Brand's Tucker book.
For decades, Russell Brand was one of the most famous actors and comedians and agnostics in the world. Today, he is one of the most sincere Christians we know.
Most sincere.
His personal transformation
Your new Messiah
is remarkable. We saw it up close. He has now recounted it in an amazing book called How to Become a Christian in 7 Days. And it recounts what happened to him, and it makes the case to all of us for stepping away from our secular assumptions and returning to the only thing that matters, which is God. I've read it. It's amazing. And right now,
only thing that matters.
TuckerCarlsonBooks.com. This is the first release from our new
Save you from the demons. He sells Alex Jones's The Great Awakening book, $32.
publishing company. We created Tucker Carlson Books to bypass the censors and bring you things that are actually worth reading and sharing. And we're starting this venture with what matters most, and that's Russell Brand's message of the promise of forgiveness and joy through Jesus. We're proud to launch our new bookstore with Russell Brand's
forgiveness. Everybody forgive Russell for his alleged
message this country needs most. Find it today on TuckerCarlsonBooks.com.
What is it? Rape of women? Drugging and raping of women? Something like that, allegedly. Okay, you ready? I saw this clip going on. 1 million views, 14,000 likes. Sam Hyde. Let's check this out. Sam Hyde seething about Jesus. He chimps out over Jesus.
Do you believe in God? Believe there might be a higher power, but
this fucking guy.
A God.
Our Creator loves this man for some reason. Can you see why? I can't.
No, I believe in a higher power. What that higher power is, I don't believe.
It's God.
The Bible. Who wrote the Bible?
The
Jews.
Who could read and write back then? Who could read and write back then? Who could read and write back then?
Who cares?
Definitely not the poor people, the rich, the nobles.
Fuck the poor.
So you don't think that
the Jewish priest class?
That story's biased?
I don't give a shit about poor people.
The pictures you see in the Bible, all you see is some.
That's funny. Fuck the poor, he says. He's saying rich people wrote the Bible, bro, to control people. Very Jesus of him, too, to say fuck the poor. Yeah, Tucker should sell the Jesus deception at tuckerbooks.com. I doubt that would ever happen.
Who could read and write back then?
Who cares?
Definitely not the poor people, the rich, the nobles.
Fuck the poor.
So you don't think that story's biased?
I don't give a shit about poor people.
The pictures you see in the Bible, all you see is some bright light. We could just be
all the pictures they drew,
be an alien
all the illustration,
ant farm.
all
we
the
could just be
illustration.
an alien ant farm, dude.
Yeah, that's
could.
probably what it is. It's probably aliens that came here and seeded life on
how
Earth.
they build those fucking pyramids
with a bunch of carrying rocks.
Okay.
And then
those weren't landmarks for some ship to see coming from outer space where they were supposed to land, possibly.
No. They don't need landmarks.
You're right. That's the most plausible explanation.
Possibly.
The most plausible explanation.
Possibly.
A hyper-advanced alien race would need landing markers. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. Oh, we've mastered galactic travel.
So
you
do
know
you believe
we
in
need
God?
Big piles of rocks to figure out where to land.
You believe?
I was just having the same thought, actually. He's kind of cooking in this video. I thought I was going to criticize him for shilling Jesus, but this is funny.
With a long beard and a robe and blue eyes?
I do. And blonde hair.
Indoctrination.
And blonde hair.
Indoctrination.
The opposite of indoctrination, because I was an atheist until my late 20s. I did the opposite of indoctrination.
What got you to believe that then?
Huh?
You still believe in Santa Claus?
So tell me
yes.
Copyrights and
Jay Dyer, dude, if you became a Christian listening to Jay Dyer.
Copy wrongs.
It's a book I read.
I love how he thinks like because he became a Christian as an right-wing influencer in his 30s and 40s, that means he's not indoctrinated. No, believing in Jewish prophecies, not indoctrinated at all.
Indoctrinated by Jay and all those guys.
Yeah. If you got converted by Jay Dyer, you're not going to make it. Let's see. Sam Tripoli says, it's Jesus or get out. Sam messaged me a couple days ago and said, you were right about Kabbalah. I said, I've got the documents, but I'm right about Jesus too. I was right about Trump, Sam, and I'm right about Jesus too. But apparently this girl and all of her pagan books, she says she dropped them for Jesus. She's doing the conversion.
I decided that I would try out Jesus as my deity. So I put all of this down, and it was going to be temporary. I was like, let me just do a little science experiment, right? So I started praying to Jesus. I paused on doing readings. I paused on, astrology and all of that stuff. I paused on doing Reiki. And I was
all that stuff is stupid.
Telling me you can't do both. You can't like do witchcraft and be with Jesus. So I was like,
so you went from one supernatural woo-woo nonsense to another. I was doing readings in astrology, and what was the other thing she said?
I paused on doing Reiki.
Reiki.
And I was,
you know what Reiki is, right, guys? Where they go, oh, and they put their hands on you and pretend like they can heal, faith healing. Her last egg is almost gone, so she needs Jesus. That's funny.
That's kind of what early Christians were doing. Like, let's be real here, right? Like, not so that isn't too far from that.
Because I knew, she kept telling me you can't do both.
She went from spiritual to Jesus shill.
Like do witchcraft and be with Jesus. So I was like, okay, well, I'll do a little test. I'll just put it down for a minute and I'll try it out, and it's gonna be wrong, was essentially what I thought. So I tried it out, and I just experienced like such a sense of peace and love, like unconditional love, that I had never felt in my whole life.
Daddy issues, Jesus. She never felt loved by her daddy. Now she has a heavenly father in Jesus to love her. That's what I just read. Which is sad. But that's why a lot of people believe in Jesus.
There is like something Jungian going on here, where it's like her sitting there and like contemplating on the idea of Jesus does have this effect that she's describing. I do think that this is like an authentic thing that's going on. It just doesn't mean that Jesus is real or anything.
Yeah.
It's like a mental construct of mass consciousness.
It didn't feel as personal as it does with Jesus. It just didn't. Nothing did. Nothing came close. I feel so much more healed now.
Healed by Jesus.
That I would.
Oh, Jews are having a laugh. New one from Mizrachi. Mizrachi tells his favorite story. Dude, Mizrachi is a baller. Look at this couch. Look at this background. Do you see me going on kosher on big shows like this? Sitting on couches like that?
Remember when he did the interview with the gold bars and the fucking Humvees and shit behind him and stuff like that? It's kind of like that. He's like a gangster rapper.
I was just thinking of that, yeah.
Sometimes you have
Let's hear how much he hates that everybody worships the...
Oh, yeah, he hates
the Jewish Messiah.
Sometimes you have Christians that love Israel, like admire Israel, the Jews, wow, they do so much for the Jews. And then you find one anti-Semite with Nazi ideology.
Tucker Carlson.
And sometimes they're both from the same church. You ask yourself, what education they got? This guy want to kiss me and hug me and help Israel. The other one want to see me dead and he prefer to help Hamas and Iran. You ask yourself, how can it be? But this Rav Berkovich from Lausanne, he said to one of the Christians that work with him in the office on Christmas night, he told him, tonight is the happiest night of my life. So the Christian asked him, Rabbi, don't be sarcastic. Tonight it's our night, it's Christianity. He said, but I'm very happy. He said, why? He said, where else?
Thank you, Jocelyn.
Jocelyn 8 sent $10 on Rumble. Celsius 175 CE on the resurrection. What credible witness beheld this appearance? A half-frantic woman, as you say, or someone else of those engaged in the same system of delusion?
Yeah, that's granting the story's even true, doing an internal critique of it. But yeah. Yeah, if Jesus really did rise from the dead, he would appear to the Sanhedrin and the Caesar and to Pilate, not just to his privately in secret to a few of his top cultist followers, right? That doesn't make any sense.
He's not gonna live in the house with people like the Book of Acts states and stupid shit like that. That is obviously all stupid.
Yeah, just trust him. They would never make up seeing something, granting that he ever existed at all.
2 billion Christians bow down to one Jew. I heard this. Then the guy came back on the 26th. It's no joke. He wrote it in his book. He said to him, Rabbi, because of you yesterday, I could not pray in the church all day. I couldn't pray, meaning I'm praying to JC.
Dude, he tells this story so much.
Swiss guy, French. Once he told him, all of a sudden he woke him up. You admiring, you worshiping a man that was Jewish and died as a Jew. Christianity started at least 7 years after he died. He never started Christianity. A lot of people don't understand. They think JC came and say, oh, I'm the Messiah. Let me start a new religion. God gave me book part 2. No.
It was the disciples.
He died as a Jew. And then they started to make up stories 4 generations after he died.
Sneeko, though, Noah Hyde Sneeko.
A little late dating there, Mizrachi, huh? 4 generations after he died, that's when the Gospels were written? What?
Yeah.
Interesting that he specifically said 4 generations there, huh? Because it's the first 3 generations that were the Jewish ones, right? And it's that 4th generation that's really when the Gentiles really open up. I think it's when the Jews were Christians. I think it's Paula Fredrickson's book. She talks about this, how it's the 4th generation that really was I think she says that was the first Gentile generation. So it's funny because Mizrachi maybe is referencing that book directly. You know what I mean? Or her ideas.
I've listened to that one when Christians were Jews.
Yeah.
Okay, Noah Hyde Sneeko says, when Jesus will return, we will all be united and worship the Jewish Messiah together. Hallelujah, amen, Allahu Akbar.
Jai Muhammad. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on YouTube. I probably won't. But this is not incitement of violence. This is remembering our history. And this is also saying what will happen. Right now, the Ummah is divided, and I'm making an effort to try to unite us again. And this is what a lot of this is about. That although we are divided right now, the Ummah will be united again. We believe this, that the Mahdi will come, that Jesus will return, and we will be united. And it's important to remember, it's important to know that although there's division right now, the Ummah will once again be united. Although there's no caliph right now, there will be another one.
He wants to unite the Muslim world with Dugin and Professor Zhang against the West, the evil, satanic, demonic West. And it's not Judaism that's the problem, it's white supremacy. And the white system of oppression, like he said in his BLM rant. But hey, dude, Jesus is going to come save the day, and we're all going to worship him together. This is him at the Groyper meetup outside AFPAC 5.
I have a collab on Tuesday I'm supposed to do. It was good. It was good. Yeah.
All these guys need to get deported. What did he say? Yeah, something Yahud. Yahud is Jews. Dude, he literally... Bro, we need to deport Sneeko. Sneeko is basically a Russian asset, a Russian useful idiot at this point.
The fact that he's a Muslim, that he converted to Islam, he basically got bullied into this religion by his viewers.
914
it's fucking crazy.
On Rumble. Miz has to be the most honest Jew on the planet.
He's top rabbi, our favorite rabbi, Rabbi Mizrachi.
Allahu Akbar!
It's like he's doing it to be edgy in the same way they do Christ is King. He's envisioning the videos of suicide bombers, and that when he's doing that like that. Like you know, the old internet videos where they do Allah Akbar like that. Hold on, before you do the Dugin stuff, the last thing I sent in the chat, you got to play maybe both the last 2 things, but for sure the newest one I sent you. This is so funny. This is one of the funniest clips I think I've seen for a long time. This is so good.
Alex Jones, community noted, again posting a fake video. Fake news Jones.
Yeah, that's from Microsoft Flight Simulator or something stupid, I think. Yeah, fell for another video game post, guys.
Dude, Jones does this all the time. He's been community noted for posting bullshit so many times. Professional fake news. That doesn't even look close to real.
No, not at all. And they would never do that with that bomb either. It's so stupid.
Are you a stupid person? Are you a stupid person?
Oh, dude, I'm adding that to the soundboard. Love it. Okay, me casually listening to the radio last week and encountering unhinged Christian Zionist propaganda. Let's hear it.
Today, we are witnessing the rise of anti-Semitism around the world like never before.
AM radio, Christian radio.
For elderly Jews, their dream of making Aliyah one day and coming home to Israel is extremely difficult, if not impossible. But you can change all of that today for one precious Jew. Even in a time of war, the safety and shalom of moving to Israel under God's protection and his covenant promise to bring his chosen people home is why we're asking you today to partner with us. The cost to rescue one Jew and purchase a seat on an upcoming Fellowship Aliyah Freedom Flight is $710. With a donation to the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews of $35, you'll help one poor elderly Jew out of a life of hopelessness and anti-Semitism.
Hopelessness and anti-Semitism.
Israel. Here's how you can reach.
What?
800-342-0044. 800-342-0044.
We should call that number.
0044.
She's got a crack in her roof. Is that a Tesla?
Today we are witnessing the rise of
wow. Average Fox News commercial, average talk radio commercial.
Well, it makes perfect sense, you know, if they have to ingather the exiles, right? So that they could witness Jesus' return to Zion and all convert and see that he's real, right? They have to do that. So it makes sense.
Sneaky Sneeko with his highly anticipated Professor Zhang and Dugin. I sure called Zhang as being in this Russia sphere, multipolar Duginist. And now here we are. And I called it with Sneeko, too. I mean, he's hanging out with Hinkle and all the same people, these same circles. So let's see a few of these that see through it all's got clipped up here.
We heard that Epstein. There was something really interesting I saw yesterday. I saw these Chinese children speaking to a Western journalist, and they were asking him, do Americans eat people? Because we heard that Epstein eats people in America. So it's funny that the stereotype for so long.
Hoch sent $10 on Rumble. A mental construct of mass consciousness. Why can't this count as real? You get hung up on Jesus' existence but fail at non-existence, which is also existence. God save the Goyim.
What do you mean? I always say they're manifesting it. By everybody's belief, if everybody thinks something is real, it's in a way that is real. It still has a real world effect. So I don't.
Most things are mental. Most things are mental. Most things are psychic. Most things are in the mind. Most of our ideas and the things that interact with the world come from the mental world of humans thinking it is real or thinking something's like that, and therefore it becomes like that. You know, the whole, what do they say? Something is like a social construct is how the left views it, but in reality, like all mental ideas are kind of like that in a way.
You know, I'm half Filipino myself. We grew up hearing from Americans that Asians eat dogs, and now we're hearing Chinese children say Americans eat people.
Yeah, that's because all of you people have been lying about saying beef jerky is children. That's why.
And ball bank accounts.
Yeah.
There was something really interesting I saw yesterday.
Cannibals, Satan, ball worshipping cannibals, basically.
We are not against concerning Russian Orthodox Church. Russian Orthodox Church has nothing comparable with Christian Zionism of Protestantism.
Nothing comparable? How about they're exactly the same besides like a couple little differences? How about that? Nothing comparable.
We are not against Judaism, but we consider that very special, very separate branch of the faith. Different.
Wow.
Oh, the Orthodox Church is a separate branch of the same faith.
Rabbi Dyer, separate branch of Judaism, and very special and not against Have we not always said this?
Sent $5. Nico looks like he uses a graffiti stencil to form his facial hair.
Yeah. Wow. Dugin's actually nailing that. He's right. It is a separate, just another form of Judaism, and they do recognize Judaism. Crazy.
Special, very separate branch of the faith, different totally, and there are so many texts of Russian elders, Christian authorities, Christian Orthodox authorities. They prevented that the Antichrist will come from Judaism. So they will be arrogant people trying to impose their global rule, and they will be antichrists. And so more or less the same was concerning Christian Zionists and Protestants or Calvinists. So we never, Russian, traditional Christian Orthodox Russian, never considered Judaism as a lie, or Jews to be today, after Christ, chosen people. They were. And
they were chosen, and Judaism's not a lie. That's the problem, guys. You're affirming Judaism. That's what Dugin's doing. That's what Christians are doing. That's what Jay Dyer does. That's what any Christian does. Affirm, validate Judaism.
We affirm that they were the chosen people, and that was truth. But when Christ came, he has accepted all the other people, embraced them, and it is New Israel. New Israel is Christian church. So after that, the chosen one, all the humanity, all the people who should accept the knowledge, the new news, the good news of Christ, and the small group of Jews who still insist on their chooseness. They are a kind of matrix of Antichrist. So that is our traditional religious general attitude. So we have not until now the direct confrontation with Israel. The Judaism is considered, as in Iran, the traditional belief, traditional faith in Russia, with zero pressure. So that was as a minority faith that is guarded by the state. But what I could assure you that neither Putin nor Russian government nor Russian society has any feature similar to the Christian Zionism. It is about realism. It is about respect to the different faiths, and we see now that geopolitically Israel becomes more and more aggressive element to destroy our allies, to undermine the harmony and the peace in the Middle East. But we blame much more American hegemony than Zionism. But now,
whoa, see that? They blame America hegemony and not Zionism. So they affirm Judaism and they scapegoat white America for Zionism. There you go.
Yeah, they call the Greater Israel Project a white colonial imperial project. That's his worldview.
Yeah,
and that's the worldview of all Eurasianists in Russia, guys. This is not
this is clearly controlled opposition to Judaism. If they affirm their chosen status, and then blame white Americans and Christian Zionism instead of Zionism and Judaism. And Sneeko says Judaism's a beautiful religion. It's only Zionism, and Zionism's not Judaism. And he says the Torah was given to the Jews by God. And then they promote prophecies as real. There you go. All the Dugin shills and Dugin apologists out there blame white power, basically white hegemony, and say it has nothing to do with Jews. Crazy. Sneeko just said the same thing the other day too. He goes, Zionism's not the problem. It's Jews only have power because of white supremacy. Remember he said that?
Yeah. Well, what I was going to say too is, and add in the additional layer here. They are Khazar theorists, all three of them, right? So to them, Israel is not just controlled by American hegemony, but the Jews that are in Israel that are controlling things, Bibi Netanyahu and these guys, these are Khazar fake Jews, right? So there's like a double layer of protection here to scapegoat or to point the other way away from what's actually going on, which is that Israel is a Jewish state by the Jewish people following the Jewish God Yahweh. That is what's going on.
Crazy. confession there.
This collusion between Christian Zionism of Trump with its aggressivity, with this hegemony, with this imperialism, with this radical anti-Christian elements you have mentioned, and collusion with this radical, aggressive Jewish Israeli Zionism, that is seen by our society as the confirmation of the fears and predictions of our elders, Christian Orthodox elders, because it becomes more and more, it looks like Antichrist, including this posting of Trump or this sacrilegious affirmation, this idea that Trump is God, Trump is Pope, Trump is saint, and he's refused to swear on the Bible on the second presidential term.
Hold on. That's not fair. He didn't refuse to swear on the Bible. They kind of rushed at him quick with the oath and didn't even have the Bible there in front of him when they started. That's what I remember happening. He didn't say, I refuse the Bible. They had the Bible right there. They just messed up, I think.
$10 on Rumble.
People.
This makes me want to fund the Ukraine war efforts.
Yeah. Now do you get it?
So 1,000 car bombs to Ukraine.
Yeah.
Now, so
you see that picture behind him too, right?
Show that
it's his daughter.
With some eschatological moment in the history. We don't want that. We don't insist on that. Putin prefers to understand their political reality in geopolitical realist terms, but we could not prevent to see behind these events a very alternative scenario.
Wow, we got to bookmark that
just
one.
Like the Catholics. They're just like the Catholics, right? Where they think that, okay, we're not for it, but if it has to happen, then it is a thing, right? Like they have no position to stop it. So at best, they can be neutral against Zionism. That's the problem with both of the Orthodox and Catholic Church.
And this talking point we always see that Dugin just did, Jewish writer for Al Jazeera, says frame Zionism as white supremacy. Framing Zionism as Jewish and not white supremacy is dangerous. That's the talking point
What
they
a
always
joke,
do.
dude. Holy shit.
Okay, here they are talking about Kabbalistic Judaism.
Everything.
Can I ask you specifically, Professor Dugin, so what would you classify your faith as?
So first of all, I'm a Christian Orthodox. So I'm Orthodox Christian, and that defines in what I believe. That is my confession. That is my church. That is my religious doctrine, and everything I could say outside of the context, it is about studies. It is not about recognition of my own faith. My own personal and Russian faith is precisely Christian Orthodox religion. So I believe it is the only truth. So in that sense, I am believer, normal Christian Orthodox believer. But at the same time, I'm very interested by different other spiritual tradition. And in that sense, philosophically, I am traditionalist. What means to be traditionalist? So I am following the spiritual philosophy of René Guénon, who converted into Islam, that is great French philosopher, and his disciples, for example, Julius Evola and the many other, Titus Burckhardt, Fridtjof Schuon, and the other. This philosophical approach considers the modernity to be anti-tradition. So modern world, it is not just development, not just progress, but quite opposite. That is decline. That is a fall. And this traditionalist philosophy could be applied to Islam, as in the case of Guénon himself, to Confucianism, to Taoism, to Christianity, as was the case of many of his disciples, Jean Bies and many other, and myself. in the case of Christian Orthodox Church. But as well, I have met, for example, some people among Jews, Judaic Kabbalists who followed Genon. So you could be Genonian in different religions. You could disagree with some political or eschatological, precisely, issues, but the main thing we share, all the traditionalists, we share this refusal of the Western modernity. So we can accept different traditions, but we consider the modernity to be absolutely wrong.
Right.
Atheism, pluralism,
Richard just talked about this on his podcast. Basically, like the idea that's going on here is like an it's like a pro-tradition Abrahamic international is kind of what they're going with. So you can be Islam, you can be Jewish, you can be Christian.
He always says modernity and atheism and materialism. He lumps those in together. So the opposite of that is they want a bunch of Noahides believing in end times prophecies. And the reason he likes Kabbalah rabbis is because they have prophecies about the destruction of Edom in the West.
Well, they want the dialectic to be between this like traditional Abrahamism versus like a materialist, secular sort of, I guess you could call it like a tech bro AI kind of idea. Maybe transhumanism might be a way to put it for some of these guys that think this type of thing. That's what that's what they want the dialectic to be between in the futures. Those two blocks.
Enlightenment. All that things are totally evil. So that, but
enlightenment is evil. Is that what he said? Pagan enlightenment evil.
To develop my own understanding of what are different traditions, different than mine, than Christian Orthodox, I have studied as well the Kabbalah, the Judaism, Islam, Shia, Mishraq tradition, Christianity, of Catholicism, of Protestantism, and many other, Hinduism, for example, Buddhism, and Confucianism, and Taoism, all that, Gnosticism, including some counter-tradition, counter-spiritual forms of tradition. All that is the path of this study. But my confession, my only position as believer, so I believe in absolute truth of Christian Orthodox doctrine.
I doubt that. He has this Muslim dude. This was the guy that was on Danny Jones that I played the clip of, talking about we're in the end times Muslim prophecies.
Guy's a total retard.
Talking about aliens on Earth.
Okay. What if we're aliens?
What are the aliens, bro?
What you mean? How?
Let's think about this chronologically.
Okay.
The Earth was created before humanity.
Right.
We know that there was a species. Now I'm going strictly from the Abrahamic perspective.
Right.
Peace be upon Abraham, the prophet.
Always.
We know that there was one species that we don't even know anything about. Okay. From the Islamic perspective, there was one species called the Bin. We don't know anything about them. They were wiped out.
What's the Bin?
I don't know. They could have been the dinosaurs. I don't know. There was one species before the Jinn. Then there was the Jinn.
Indians,
the Jinn, brother.
Okay.
They were created before human beings. The demonic realm. Satan.
Sneeko is an alien in this land. Funny.
The devil and his kind were created way before humanity. They lived and occupied Earth before we did. They had free will before us. We're not the only
Dude, what's with all this Jewish gobbledygook? Dude, I'm so sick of all these mythical stories, dude.
You will.
Okay.
Okay. So if they weren't,
I read it in a book.
They had cities 1st. You know this.
Okay.
They have
Muslims
free will.
love this
There's
type of
good
shit
ones
too,
and
by the
bad
way.
ones.
Right.
Right. So the Christians will call them fallen angels. Technically, that's not 100% inaccurate, because the devil was the best of the species of the jinn, the demons. He lived amongst the angels. When God created Adam, when he started to carve Adam, he was already full of envy and jealousy. He had already declared war on humanity. The devil thought because of how great he was that he was going to be given the keys to the earth. When God blew the soul into Adam, he gave the dominion to us. But they want you to believe it's some type of alien bullshit. It's not aliens, bro. We were the last ones cast down. We were the last ones to come down on this simulation of gods.
Totally schizo. I want to watch this. full documentary exploring connections between UFO and angels. I'm going to do the Bart Ehrman stuff tomorrow. That'll go with the Celestial Jesus tomorrow. I think I do have a couple more of the Sneeko Dugin clips I want to watch before we wrap it. Oh, Sneeko likes Putin because he kissed the Quran. Based.
You can see him. One thing I respect greatly about Putin is you can see him hold the Quran and he kissed the Quran. And on the Eid prayer, there are massive amounts of Muslims in Russia who are going out to pray. And the relationship that Islam has in Russia is completely different from the relationship that the United States has with Islam. In fact, we often blame Islam for all the problems. We accuse Muslims of terrorism, and pretty much every accusation that Muslims are the victim of, it seems like Israel is responsible for the exact same actions. One thing I respect greatly about Putin is
Professor Zhang runs cover for Chabad?
The deep state. So I want to ask the both of you. I'll start with Professor Zhang. So you were mentioning the deep state. So essentially, your belief is that Trump is, and this is hardly a conspiracy, that he is being controlled by different forces and he's being used as a tool to push an agenda that's against America's interests. So right now, we are back in the war. The ceasefire talks failed in Islamabad, Pakistan. J.D. Vance, the vice president, was there. But behind him was Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff. These are real estate moguls. So you keep saying the deep state is controlling Trump. Is it just simply the Chabad-Lubavitch sect? Because Kushner has no position in the White House. He's not part of this administration, yet he is one of the lead negotiators.
Good question, Sneeko.
With the Gaza peace talks. And here he is in Pakistan.
Chabad.
Next to J.D. Vance.
Dude, how does this guy live in New York and still say Chabad?
Yeah, it's really embarrassing.
The theory is that we were pulled back into this war and the ceasefire talks failed because Israel wants to continue bombing Lebanon. Professor Zhang, is the deep state simply just Chabad-Lubavitch?
No, that's way too simplistic.
So I think rather than say there's one group of people pulling the strings, I think it's just better to say that there's a convergence of interests, meaning that you have different political factions who need Trump to start a war against Iran. And Chabad-Lubavitch are the useful idiots or the scapegoats.
No, the useful idiots. Oh, they're just the victims. Wow. And he said Chabad too.
I hate them all. Dude. Oh my God, they're so dumb. They don't know shit about this. What's crazy is this is the lens that everyone's learning about Chabad from. Like this is it right here. People who can't pronounce it and who think that they're useful idiots.
Yeah, let's hear how he spins this. That's crazy. Yeah, nightmare blunt rotation. This goes really hard if you're a teenager living in Pakistan that thinks that Americans eat babies.
Who need Trump to start a war against Iran. And Chabad-Lubavitch are the useful idiots or the scapegoats that can be put out front in order.
Wow. All my suspicions confirmed. All my suspicions on this guy confirmed. Wow. The scapegoats. No, this is their plan. How are they being scapegoated for something that's their plan that they want?
And the idea that like they're out in front and like they're easy to point to and say that it's them. No, it's not. People do not know what Chabad is. You know, most of the people who talk about Jews have no idea.
Right.
They couldn't tell you like 10 facts about Chabad.
What's he going to say? It's the Sabbatean Frankists setting up Chabad, or it's the Illuminati wanting you to blame Jews in Chabad? Give me a break, dude. Come on.
Yeah, that is what he's going to say,
I bet.
The useful idiots or the scapegoats that can be put out front in order to attract people's attention, while the more powerful people are working behind the scenes, manipulating things behind.
So it's not the people that are actually in front and really that we know about. It's all the secret hidden people behind them that are just using them as the front. Where have I heard this deflection before?
Meanwhile,
crazy.
The people who are negotiating the Russian peace deal are both Chabadniks on both sides, on the Russian side and the American side. Like, fuck you.
Crazy. Oh, it's the secret societies, and it's the reptilians, and it's the secret Satanists and Baal worshippers. Is that what we're doing?
The scenes. So if you think about Jared Kushner, if he were really powerful, he would not be in front of the television cameras taking all the blame for the failed negotiations, not just in Ukraine, but also in Iran and in Gaza.
All the blame, he's being credited like he's winning top awards, and Trump might get the Nobel Peace Prize. He's being credited with all types of stuff. What do you mean? He's on the board of peace
as well. It seems to me that Trump, Kushner, Witkoff, Shabbat Lubavitch, all these people are being set up as scapegoats, as Professor Dugin pointed out. And who these people behind the scenes truly are, it's really hard to say. It's the Epstein class, but I really think it's a convergence of interests, right? So you have the military-industrial complex.
Dude, it's not Chabad, it's the Epstein class. Come on, dude.
And the military-industrial complex, like he's just using, he's just stacking buzzwords.
Yeah.
Also,
it says globalists.
Yeah. Dugin's body language this whole time is he clearly doesn't want to talk about this topic either, by the way. He had his arms folded in the beginning, and now he's just kind of staring. Kind of funny.
Apparatus. You have secret societies like the Freemasons, the Rosicrucians, Knights Templars.
Fuck off!
So there's secret Freemasons behind everything? Come on, dude.
Rosicrucians? Are you serious? He doesn't know the first thing about, oh my God. I have watched whatever.
I haven't seen it either.
London.
No, I've seen his video on Rosicrucians, and he gets so wrong.
To have this war in Iran. It's a really question of like who's going to do the work, right? Who's going to be the vanguard, and who's going to be the scapegoat? And so the people we're seeing right now are just the vanguard, the scapegoats.
Wow, unbelievable, dude. See,
I want to ask the both of you.
I remember somebody asking, they're like, how does it feel to have him like saying, talking about stuff that you've been saying for years? And I said, he's not saying the same thing. It's very different what he's saying. And that's probably why he's on here with Sneeko getting boosted by, the sphere, the pro-Russia sphere and Dugin. Because that little narrative right there.
Well, that's kind of how what I would say like Russian psyops work is like their psychological operations in favor of Zionism are always like they seem like they're anti-Zionist in what they're doing, but what they do is at the very end they like misdirect it away from Judaism, away from Jews. If that makes sense. That's how they've always operated in supporting Israel. That's how Russia's always done it. It's like I call it like the left-handed path of support, right? It's like the way you wouldn't necessarily think to do it.
Okay, a couple more here. Here's Dugin talking about Russia and Chabad. This should be good.
A religious group.
Sneeko bringing us the goods today.
Dugin, what is the relationship that Russia has with Chabad Lubavitch?
So we consider that as a religious group. We have two currents in Russia, traditional Jews and this Hasidic current. So our government could not say you are right and you are wrong because we could not judge the contradictions in the Jewish community, and because Hasidic movement is very active, Lubavitchers precisely.
Very active. Confirmed by Dugin how active Chabad is, the influence Chabad has in Russia. There we go.
They represent one part of religious Judaism accepted as traditional branch of a religion of minority.
Accepted as
Jews. They represent the other part. So they have contradictions concerning possibility to teach the Kabbalah to not old Talmudic persons. So they disagree about that because Lubavitchers, they pretend that everybody every Jew.
Okay, he's doing the Alex Jones deflection. Oh, there's two groups of Jews, there's factions, and they're arguing about what Kabbalah or Talmud or whatever he said. The question was, how much influence does Chabad have?
Every Jew could know
Chabad sweeping,
including the women and young people, and that was strongly prohibited in traditional Judaism. So Russian government accept both Jewish sect as a part or occurrence of tradition and nothing more. So
so Chabad Lubavitch is legitimate and traditional and good. They don't have a problem with it, but the West, secular modernity, that's what's evil. Is that not the gist everybody else is getting? Duginstein, yeah. That's funny.
The absolute majority of Russians are Christian Orthodox. And between Holy Patriarch Cyril and Mr. Putin, there are relations as symphony. Symphony, that is Byzantine concept developed of Justinian, Emperor Justinian, that there are distribution of power between imperial head, Emperor, Tsar, Caesar, and great grand patriarch. That is not just religion. That is more than religion. That is kind of political theology, and that is accepted somehow in Russia. So other minorities as Islam or Judaism or Buddhism, including different small confessions, they are accepted. Only traditional confessions, traditional religions are accepted, but they don't play any political role. So their power is limited to their respective communities. And Lubavitchers, they exist in that. They suffer no pressure, neither political nor social, so they are totally free, as all other representatives of traditional confessions and traditional religions in Russia. So when they say that
I wonder, so they'll acknowledge Chabad as a legitimate traditional religion. What's their position on like pagan religions? The Vikings that founded Russia, their religions. I wonder what they would say. Illegal? Chabad okay, paganism not? I bet.
It is manipulated by them. That is totally fake news. So Putin is motivated by interests of Russia. He is Christian Orthodox. That's very important. He is not just the head of the state with the majority of Orthodox Christians, but he himself is practicing Christian Orthodox. Right. So he is a member of the Christian Orthodox.
We get the point. We know he's Christian.
And he has very balanced and very positive, very respectful relations to all kinds of other traditional religions.
Okay.
So in Russia, the government basically they have a 1997 religious law, okay, where they basically define like traditional religions, kind of how he just laid out, and they have like representatives, and they have like a whole basically kind of like a Congress, this whole like representative body. And so I just looked it up. I said, is Slavic paganism part of that law? And it says no. Slavic paganism is usually labeled as, I'm going to butcher this, Rodnovery, is not on that list. The only religions on that list that are not Abrahamic is Buddhism. That's what it says.
So Orthodox Christianity, Islam, and Judaism are recognized. Paganism's not.
Correct. And the only non-Abrahamic religion that is recognized is Buddhism, it seems like. So.
Okay. Fight the Antichrist. Let's see.
Dugin, so our mission.
Say his response was Putin is a Christian. That's not really answering like influence or power that Chabad has in Russia. And he says they're respected as a traditional religion.
We have our mission here in the world and the history. Stay against Antichrist until the last breath. So that is kind of catechonic ethics, and that is perceived very deeply by our society, by our government. So in spite of all other considerations, we should accomplish our mission. Maybe it will bring us to our end, our death. But death, catechonic death, it is the duty, the spiritual, historical, sacred duty of Russian people. And now we consider more and more the modern Epsteinian West to be Antichrist. So our mission is acquiring now the new dimension. For example, we stood against Catholicism, we stood against Protestantism, but we still were inside of Christianity. So one branch of Christianity, our branch, your branch, but now it is not about one branch of Christianity against the other. That is Epstein, globalist, totally post-human, post-capitalist, perverted Western civilization. It is pure Antichrist. It is not just suggestion, just presumption that maybe the West is wrong, maybe Western Christianity is not so sacred as our Christian Orthodox Church. It was in the history just presumption,
I hate listening to Dugin. It seems like Zhang just listened the whole time.
Our eyes, the veil is taken off, and we see these 3 millions. It's enough. Maybe there are more 3 millions of Epstein files, but we see now the real reality, real face of Western ruling elite, not only left liberals as well, right? So both, it is uniparty. That is, it is not just left globalism as we presumed. Now we see as well the part of the right, the Zionists, some other people in the same network.
This is awful,
network.
Dude.
So
he's just rambling.
Spoken recently with
There's no way that their audience understands what they're listening
to. Yeah.
With one bishop, Christian Orthodox, and he has said, considering or reading Epstein's files, we are reminded about what our elders, spiritual.
This is a guy that was writing and pushing the Ball bank account lie too, to smear the West as Antichrist and satanic.
Spiritual authorities wrote during all last decades about the real nature of the West. And this young bishop, he has said, we didn't believe too much. We thought that it is some exaggeration, mystical vision. Maybe the West is not like that. And now, watching, seeing Epstein's file, we see that our elders, authorities, affirming that the West is, modern West is Antichrist, were absolutely right. That is big.
See, this is why all the usual suspects were lying about what was in the Epstein files so much, to run with this narrative that we're all evil and satanic and demonic Antichrist. That's clearly why. Skip, yeah, chat's heard enough. Dugin sucks.
Religious confirmation. So Epstein files are much more than just sexual scandal or sex trafficking, something much more important. That is a very, very persuasive eschatological sign that is read by civilizations.
Eschatological sign that America needs to be destroyed. That's what he's saying right now. Because of Ball bank accounts and beef jerky and a guy joking about dressing up like Jesus to one of his girlfriends.
Humanity, if you are like that, if you tolerate that, and zero arrests after all, so that is something.
There was not zero arrests. Maxwell's in prison and Epstein was arrested.
Dude, I could legitimately watch like Red Scare more than I could watch that. That was bad, dude.
Dugan, I can't stand Dugin.
I would rather listen to like California Vocal Fry or something than any of what I just listened to. That was awful.
Of course, Sneeko loves it.
A racial white supremacy ideology, you would not have Jewish supremacy subvert so easily. This is why Prince Charles works with the Rothschilds. This is why they all go to Epstein. This is why they see them as the same, because they also harbor white supremacist ideology. So it doesn't actually seem like the white supremacists that are selling out their nation.
Yeah, Jean-Luc Brunel also in jail, died in jail. Good one. All right, I think that's all the clips. I think that's it. I got to pee. I've been holding my pee for a while. Let's see. Want to make sure. Part of tradition. Gog and Magog. Yep, that's it. That's all the clips. All right. Woo, rough on the super chats today, guys. Disappointing. I will be here tomorrow, same time.
You'll
covering
enjoy those airman clips, dude. They're really funny.
Yeah, I'll do the airman stuff and whatever else new things to talk about in the morning. All right. Thanks for coming on, Amalek, and helping again.
No problem.
Shout out Donnie for coming on.
You guys, my last Twitter account got banned, so jump over. I might get it back. Who knows? We'll see. Probably not. But head over. It's Amalek now. So, follow my new account. I'll be posting clips on there, building back up.
Yeah. I've been retweeting on the timeline. You guys can find it that way too. All right. Like, share, subscribe. You guys know what to do, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.